Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
62 with sunshine. It's 10 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Pittsburgh City Council has approved a plan to improve traffic safety by installing red light cameras. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has details from the newsroom.
Paul, Councilperson Erica Strasburger, who sponsored the legislation, tells me the city doesn't have enough officers to enforce the traffic laws.
But what we can do is augment our police officers' ability with automated red light cameras and choose the most dangerous intersections and put the cameras there, and then people will start getting tickets.
She says her legislation is not a cash grab or a tax.
We're not keeping any of the revenue. It's literally just to pay for itself, and then the excess goes to the state, which then goes back into cities like Pittsburgh, but also other cities that don't have red light camera programs.
Strasburger says signage will be in place to notify drivers of camera enforcement, and once the warning periods have ended, a maximum fine of $100 will take effect. In the newsroom, Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
A 25-year-old man died last night after an East Hill shooting. Police were sent to the East Hill Drives area around 9:30 p.m. after receiving a shot spotter alert. 7 rounds were fired. Officers say the man had an upper body wound and was unresponsive, and medics pronounced him dead at the scene. Pittsburgh police are asking for help in locating some missing children. First, 11-year-old Nakia Cook was last seen Tuesday afternoon on Manuka Street in Carrick. She's often at the Carnegie Library in Carrick and in Knoxville and is also familiar with the Baldwin area. The other child went missing last night. 12-year-old Jeremiah Lewis was last seen on the 3600 block of Liberty Avenue around 8:15 p.m. You can see their photos and police contact information at kdkaradio.com. An Ohio man was in traffic court Tuesday, cited for 160 counts of littering, accused of spreading anti-Semitic flyers in Squirrel Hill and other neighborhoods back in May. Jeremy Brokaw's attorney told the judge his client was guilty of bad judgment, but has the First Amendment right of free speech. Brokaw was found guilty of littering, fined $50,000. David Heyman with the Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh was pleased with the result and said while the charges were for littering, the flyers were meant to spread hate.
And we're very happy that the message has been sent that this community won't speak out against anti-Semitism and all forms of bigotry.
Brokaw's attorney says his client will appeal. After more mosquito samples tested positive for West Nile virus, the Allegheny County Health Department is responding with spraying tonight. The areas being sprayed between 8 and 11 p.m. include Brighton Heights, Marshall Shadeland, California Kirkbride, Manchester, Allegheny Commons, the Mexican War Streets, Perry South, Fineview, and Troy Hill Spring Garden. At this hour on Wall Street, the Dow is up 100 points at 45,518. The Nasdaq down 31. The S&P is up 3 points. KDKA Sports, the Cardinals and Pirates will play again tonight at St. Louis. The Bucks will start Carmen Wojcinski, and the first pitch is at 7:45. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick. 45 years of experience and thousands of five-star reviews. Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time 10:03. 62 and cloudy in Pittsburgh. AAA traffic and the AccuWeather forecast next.
It's time to call Vitone's Music Store in Greensburg with large selection of pianos on sale. 724-837-0877.
Return to the magic and mystique of the Renaissance. The Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. This weekend, August 30th through September 1st, is Kids Free Weekend. Kids 12 and under are free. Filled with royalty, pageantry, jugglers, and musicians. Comedy, games, fine arts, and crafts. Eat, drink, and be merry at the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. And kids are free. Discount tickets available at pittsburghrenfest.com.
Shop incredible end-of-summer savings at the Scandinavian Designs Labor Day sale. For a limited time, take up to 70% off select modern furniture and decor for every room in your home, including living room, bedroom, dining room, and more. This is the perfect opportunity to get your space prepped for the party season ahead. Stop by your local showroom today or shop online at ScandinavianDesigns.com. Scandinavian Designs. We make it simple, you make it home.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
Or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
All right, Marty, a couple of really heavy spots remaining in the morning commute, and some of this is due to daylight inspection work on the Fort Duquesne Bridge. You have very congested traffic coming from the 279 side of the approach ramps to the lower deck of the Fort Duquesne Bridge. Watch for inspection crews working there. Also, they could be working on the ramps from 65 southbound to the bridge deck, and at times on the bridge deck they could put some lane restrictions in your way. Crews are working there each day this week, 9 a.m. until 3 p.m., so do keep that in mind. Parkway West on the inbound commute, very heavy for you right around the Parkway Center Mall on-ramp as you make your way into the Fort Pitt tunnels. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Nice afternoon with sunshine and some clouds and a high of 73. Then tonight will be partly cloudy and rather chilly. The overnight low 48. For tomorrow, sun followed by increasing clouds. Could be a late day shower or two, high 76. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Hey, this is Lisa. You'll only find me at Nest Expressions Window Fashions in Wexford. Blind shades, shutters, and draperies are my passion. Call me 724-933-5500, nestexpressions.com.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Hey, before we get into anything, how much did your wedding cost? I'm curious about this. I thought about my parents this morning in the context of this Travis and what's her name? What's her name, honey?
Oh, yeah, Taylor Swift.
Their engagement and their wedding, they're saying it cost $10-20 million. I thought about my parents and their wedding. I think my father said they had $500. 500, yeah. And it was the greatest love affair I've ever seen. So it made me cry. And in those days, and that's why I wanted people to call and tell me what their wedding cost. Because a lot of our folks grew up in an era where love meant more than crudité. And in Pittsburgh, we call it crudité, which is why I love Pittsburgh. I think about my parents. I think their wedding was $500. I think they had a total of $1,000 to put down in a house and get married. And their first house it's on Noble Street in Groovy Side. It's now about $750,000. They paid $8,000 for it. Just how the game has changed and how the world has changed, but it's still the greatest love I've ever known. And I'm not disrespecting these two, but it's fascinating to me. And I wanted to ask, as we get into some conversation about this, because we're enamored with it, it's kind of interesting. How much did your wedding cost, folks? How much did your wedding cost? 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. By the way, average wedding right now, 30 to 40 grand. No kidding. 30 to 40,000.
Well, and the Bezos wedding, Forbes is saying it could have been between 400 and 500 million.
That's not true.
But even 50 million, some are saying. I mean, it's...
Hey, they got it.
With all the events.
They got it.
It's crazy.
All right, but I want to read this note for context from my boy Brian, who I love. And he's a great guy, old school, and he sent me this note this morning and made me think about why we're having this conversation, because I think we have to have context in life. And Brian sent me this note this morning, and he's aggravated with the coverage, okay? And he says, Travis and Taylor getting engaged, a top headline. Good for them, but why such a big fuss? Famous people getting hitched. I'll never understand why that's such a big deal. There are so many other important things. Just announce it and move on. I get to see college classes canceling. What's wrong with people? Maybe it's must me, but I don't know. I wish them luck, but next year's big headline will probably be their divorce.
Ouch.
Then the whole world will stop and talk about that. Here's my thing about this. And I mean this. And I think you feel the same way, honey. There's not enough love in the world. And it's adorable, right? And we said we want it to work.
Absolutely. I disagree with him. I mean, as a news person, I get there are a lot of really important things that affect a lot of people. But a lot of people feel connected to Taylor Swift because of her music, her concerts, and have grown up listening to her heartbreak. And so when this happened, they feel connected to this happening. I mean, much more so than a lot of other news stories. So I'm sorry, but I do think it is a big story.
You're not sorry. You're being straight up honest.
People care about. Yeah. No, legit news story because people care about this. No, of course, Vince was hilarious texting back, oh, how is this, this really affects my life, whatever. I get that. It's, it's kind of fun to laugh at, but it's also brings so much joy to so many people, and that's a good thing.
Here's what I'd say, and here's what Brian says. I'd rather hear about peace in the world and prices falling. Okay, but to my wife's point, and to the point of this song, Margot, play this clip. This is why I'm talking about this morning. Listen. This is a clip we pulled. You have to listen to this whole intro? Huh?
And it makes me so sad how we knock each other down.
Okay.
Just like children on a
Okay, I thought we pulled the clip. Not enough love in the world, Patrick. Thanks for your help on that one. All right, the song's called Not Enough Love in the World. I don't have 3.5 minutes to get up to it. But the point is there's not enough love in the world. There just isn't. There just isn't. Margot, do you mind getting to the point where he sings there's not enough love in the world? We'll use that at some point. I want to talk about wedding costs. 866-391-1020. What did your wedding cost? What? Bill, go ahead. Bill?
Is that me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I believe it was the princely sum of $200.
Whoa! Explain.
Well, we got married when we were 19, and I was working 2 jobs, just got out of the Marine Corps, and that's all we had.
Nice.
So the reception was in my parents' house.
See?
And pretty much made do with what we had.
How long were you married?
48 years.
Greatest love ever. The greatest love ever.
I have a 47-year-old daughter and a 46-year-old daughter. Married in May, and Amy was born in December. You can do the math.
I love it. Right? It's a beautiful thing for $200, right? $200.
Yeah, I think that's how much it was. I'm not 100% sure, but that seems about right. And the reception was down at the hunting camp. Not the reception, I'm sorry.
The hunting camp?
Honeymoon was our hunting camp.
That is freaking beautiful.
I could never see spending a lot of money on that and then not having any money to buy a house.
That's the truth. A great phone call to a great man. You know why I love this segment? Margot's going to play the clip. Here's why.
Right. Well, mine wasn't as cheap as Mangino's getting married during COVID, but it was close. It was about $2,700.
Wow.
And I'll tell you how, I was at Large Fire Hall. I catered and worked for a place for years, so they did a $6 a plate, and it was good stuff. Eggplant, the chicken, the 9 yards, the rigatoni salad, Greek music. We DJ'd, and I worked with DJs for years and tended bar, so he got $100. Buddy's tended bar, and right now, Labor Day weekend, I was out getting half gallons of various boozes and using that, and it was like on special, and it was great, and it was in October of '86.
$2,700.
About 26, 27, yeah.
My man, George. I love these stories. We're right back. 866-391-1020. 866-391-1020. Now we're talking. I hear Ellen's was $450,000 just for the flowers.
Oh, my gosh.
Seriously.
Would you stop?
How you doing?
No way. Not in this lifetime or the next. All right. So trying to get around town right now, you do have a little bit of slowdowns, Marty. It depends on where you go. Parkway East inbound, still not giving up the ghost of the Wednesday morning commute. You're slow right around Edgewood, Swissvale as you head through the Squirrel Hill tunnels. If you've been afraid of going near the outbound Squirrel Hill tunnels, good news this week. The crews are not working during your daylight hours, so you have 2 lanes of traffic sailing along nicely. Heading eastbound through the Squirrel Hill tunnels, they'll work at the Commercial Street Bridge area 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. during the overnights this week. Certainly some crews working with the bridge inspection on the Fort Duquesne Bridge lower deck, so watch for slow traffic on the North Shore Expressway. 28, just some minor delays as you head past the ramp for East Ohio Street. Parkway West inbound is just slow at the Banksville on-ramp. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to the Marty Griffin Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks. Crafted with our signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The PSL. Get it while it's hot or iced. Only at Starbucks.
Lowe's has the Labor Day deals you need to give your home a new look. Buy one, get one free select interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Then, add the final touch with 2 for $8 on select 2.5 or 3-quart mums. Refresh your home and save big while doing it. Lowe's. We help. You save. Valid through 9/3. Mums offer in-store only. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
Having a tough time paying your bills? Learn how to reduce your credit card debt to a fraction of what you owe. Call the Debt Helpline now for free advice. 800-329-9912. 800-329-9912.
So, an older woman in her 80s with cancer, it's a true story, reached out to me a week and a half ago. Poor thing, her roof is collapsing. I mean, literally collapsing. And she has a baby pool in the house to collect water. And NASCO Roofing's going to put a new roof on our house. It's that kind of company, man. It's that kind of service. It's that kind of commitment. NASCO Roofing. Labor, fantastic. Pricing, fantastic. NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000.
UPMC Heart and Vascular Institute is advancing research to improve patient outcomes.
Cardiovascular disease is a complex disease. We are looking at the disease from a molecular, cellular, and genetic level so that we have better outcomes with our patients.
UPMC is the only heart and vascular clinical research program affiliated with the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine.
We are discovering the medicine of the future.
Your heart care matters. Visit upmc.com/heart to learn more.
Online security is a must, and millions are choosing NordVPN to stay safer and more private online. And you can do that too. Get NordVPN with 77% off and up to 3 months extra. NordVPN will encrypt your online traffic from data snoopers and internet service providers, while NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro will reduce risk of phishing and alert you about the fake online shops and known scams. And that's not all. If your email address is leaked to the dark web, you will get an instant notification from the Dark Web Monitor and act accordingly. Get the special NordVPN deal today at nordvpn.com. This offer includes a 77% discount on a 2-year plan and up to 3 extra months. Savings and additional terms apply and can be found on nordvpn.com. The offer is valid until October 15th.
My niece was getting engaged. And look, I took her to the spot. I took her to the place where they take care of you like family. Diamonds Direct. Whew. By the time she left there with her fiance. They were crying with joy. The thing is, from the time you walk in the door at Diamonds Direct, they embrace you like family. Would you like something to drink? Would you like champagne? Would you like a snack? I'm serious about this. What do you want to look at? Oh, this? Sure. How about that? Sure. It's a very, very personal, very, very intimate experience. Guess what my niece and her fiance did? They bought their engagement ring and just last week, their wedding bands from Diamonds Direct. It's an amazing, amazing business. Right across, right at the entrance to Ross Park Mall. Perfect location, Route 19. Check McKnight Road. Check it out.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Happily ever after.
I do too. They're like this, royalty for our country. I mean, the last
Not
time...
my royalty. I think he seems like a regular guy who's good at football. And she seems like she was raised right. What's she worth? $3 billion? She acts like she's down the street.
They both seem very
Yeah, ma'am.
normal, down to earth. And I think they probably had to meet someone like them who's ultra famous so they can kind of relate, not compete. I don't know. I'm excited for them. They seem really happy.
Joe, what'd your wedding cost?
I want to say $1,500, Marty.
See, I love
In 1967, I was in Vietnam sending my wife-to-be my pay every month, which was probably $250 a month. So when I got home and we got engaged, we had our reception at a local VFW, and my wife had been working part-time for a local catering company, and they catered the wedding for probably $500. So between her wedding gown and the wedding ring and the reception and flowers, probably $1,500.
How long you been married?
57 years, Marty.
See what I'm saying? Can't put a price on love. I love these stories, man. I love these stories. We went to a wedding recently of a wonderful, wonderful girl whose daddy owns 800 car dealers. And the flowers were, drum roll please, over $100,000 for the flowers. Right, honey?
That's what I'm told, and it looked like it because it was absolutely exquisite.
It was friggin' gorgeous. What do you say, Patrick? Was it worth 100?
Seeing where it was in the end, I'll say yes, because they were extremely happy and it was beautiful.
It was.
And to be fair, it's all relative to what you can
Your
afford.
wealth.
I mean, hey, if you have it and that is what you want to spend it on, absolutely go for it. Same with Taylor and Kelsey. I mean, they have so much money between the two of them that for them, 10, 20 million is
That ain't happening.
probably not that much.
That ain't happening. Mario, thanks for holding. What was your wedding?
Okay, October the 6th, 1973, Dell's in Bloomfield. It was probably $500.
How much?
How much? Large buffet.
How much?
$500.
Oh.
My father paid for the food. My father-in-law paid for the open bar.
All my sisters worked at Dell's.
I love Dell's. Okay, can I tell you something real quick?
Yeah.
We had our first date at Dell's.
No.
We had our wedding at Dell's.
No.
We had our 25th anniversary at Dell's.
Had your
and
baby
we had
at
my
Dell's.
son's graduate. A little bit before that. We
Consummated
had
our
my
marriage
son.
at Dell's.
Yes, my son's graduation from Shendley High School
Aw.
at Dell's, and I miss Dell's. I love Dell's, and I miss my husband, and I love my husband. He passed away October 1st, 2015. He passed away.
It's a hell of a story.
42 years.
And I love
42
it for you.
years.
Sharing that.
I love these
that.
stories. I'm so
This
glad
is
we came up
great.
with this idea this morning. I love these stories. I think we've talked about this, and I've and Patrick and Christine and I talked about this in the break, that with the culture that we live in today in social media, there's this insane pressure to one-up the next person at the wedding. And the average cost is between $30,000 and $40,000.
Well, if you think about, Marty, when you and I got married, or Patrick, we got married, the only way people saw pictures of our wedding was when you had the wedding album, which took months. And someone had to come to your house to see the album. Like, other than that, unless you had a picture printed, no one saw your wedding. True. Now, literally, in the next day, you've got hundreds of pictures for everybody to see how incredible your wedding was. And I think it does make it a little bit more about, what the wedding looks like.
My favorite state comp, Steve. Our 1986 wedding cost $2,500 for 300 guests.
Whoa!
The wedding we just came from, the average cost per guest was about $1,000. The ladies at the West Leechburg Fire Hall made the chicken. See, I love these stories. And rigatoni, and my mother and one of her neighbors made the table decorations, which were beer bottles painted gold and covered with flowers and a ribbon with a helium balloon.
Oh, my gosh. I love that.
And then love for 60 years. Come on, man.
Oh.
Not enough love in the world. Go ahead, Joe.
Two quick things, Marty. $75 for the marriage license, $50 for dinner. That was for the wedding. The result, the marriage, though, is priceless.
That's right, brother. That's right.
Also, one thing about Taylor Swift, maybe she should spend double that amount, because that would still be less than what she gives away. Imagine all the people that are going to make a payday because of her wedding.
Look at the bonuses she gave her drivers and concert tour workers. That's why we've actually...
The money she gives away. She just gives money away because people need it.
They're real people. I love the call.
And honestly, as a mom of two girls who we've all went to her Eras Tour concert, and really, as she is someone who I think you can really be okay with your kids looking up to.
Great point, honey.
And I love that she waited this long to find someone she really loved, who seems to treat her well. And I think that's a great example for young women, to wait till you find the right person.
You did.
Absolutely, I did.
You hit the lottery with me,
sister. I hit the jackpot. And I was 32 or 33 when we got
married. My
married.
entire life has been prefaced by this. When they meet my wife and look at me, they say, "Hey, man, you outkicked your coverage." For 30 years, I've been hearing that crap. It's right, though.
Shorkey Mitsubishi has hot deals that'll be gone in a flash. Check them out. 0% financing for 60 months is back on the 7-passenger Outlander. Or choose the brand new Mirage, already the lowest priced new car on the market. Now take up to $2,000 off MSRP. All backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, 2 years of prepaid maintenance, and $500 more for your trade. Locations in North Huntington and the North Hills, or online at shorkeymitsubishi.com. Savings include all applicable factory rebates and dealer discounts. Financing with approved credit. See dealer for complete details on all offers.
You'll always find quality products and tremendous savings at Coons Market.
80% lean fresh ground beef, $3.99 a pound. Whole seedless watermelons, $3.99 each. And plain or wavy essential everyday potato chips, 9-ounce bags, 2 for $3. Come see us at Coons.
August is Pet Appreciation Month. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned, starting at just $129 plus 15% off pet odor treatments, and take $50 off air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResPGH.com. On September 11th, 2001, 40 brave heroes aboard Flight 93 made the ultimate sacrifice. Strangers united by courage, forever changing the course of history. This September, we invite you to walk where courage blooms. The Remember Me Rose Garden honors their legacy with 3,000 roses and perennials, a wildflower meadow, and 50 flowering trees. A living tribute to peace and reflection. Just a quarter mile from the Flight 93 National Memorial. Admission is free. Visit remembermerosegarden.org.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 62 and partly cloudy at 10:30. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Patrols of the Southside Entertainment District produced 24 arrests last week with no major incidents. And City Council member Bob Charland is praising police efforts to limit the violent scene after bars closed in the early weeks of summer. Charland says each weekend has presented different challenges.
In terms of, this is a promotion that one of the establishments is doing, or the start of high school football.
On the Big K Morning Show, Charland said another issue is fake IDs.
They're pretty sophisticated. So we've been working with the bars on how we can better inspect for these IDs and make sure that everyone who's there is appropriate to be there.
And he said the state is helping by sending in liquor control agents to crack down on underage drinking. A Republican lawmaker is pushing a $500 million annual boost for repairs on Pennsylvania's crumbling bridges. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has details.
State Rep. Kerry Benninghoff's bill would put $2.5 billion of the state's rainy day fund into the funding of bridge repairs across Pennsylvania. The Pittsburgh Business Times reports House Bill 1820 would put $500 million a year for 5 years into the Commonwealth Supplemental Roads and Bridges account to fund construction, maintenance, and repair of the Commonwealth's roads and bridges. The January 28, 2022 Fern Hollow Bridge collapse that injured 4 people led to a nationwide conversation about bridge safety. House Bill 1820 was referred Tuesday to the Pennsylvania House Transportation Committee, which could discuss it sometime after the House reconvenes in late September. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is now up 93 points at 45,511. The NASDAQ is up 33 points. The S&P up 10 now. KDKA Radio News Time 10:31. Our next update at 11 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
Hi, it's Lynn Hayes Freeland. 90th anniversaries are a big deal. That's why AARP is joining forces with Social Security to celebrate its 90th anniversary. So what does that mean to you? Well, there are going to be free events throughout the area where you can win some prizes, learn more about Social Security, and find out what AARP is doing to help you. So how do you get more information? It's real simple. Go to aarp.org/local.
The best breakfast, the best French toast I've ever had in my life, and that's a long life. The thick-cut French toast, cinnamon bread, bananas, strawberries. Whoo! Oakmont Bakery. Unbelievable breakfast. Plus, the breakfast sandwiches are absolutely insanely good. Open 7 days, 6 a.m. Delicious.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The long weekend sale is on at Target with exciting deals you won't want to miss. Stock up on grilling must-haves for a few more sunny barbecues. And while you're at it, ease into sweater weather with fresh new fits for the fam. Whether you're hosting, relaxing, or showing off your new style, Target has your deal in-store, online, and in the Target app. Hurry and save more with the long weekend sale happening now through Monday. Only at Target.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
As an athlete,
I'm all about performance and my overall health. I've wanted to improve my smile for a while, but I thought braces was the only option. A friend of mine mentioned she was improving her smile with Invisalign, so I checked out with my local orthodontist and found out that Invisalign could work for me as well. After a quick scan, my orthodontist created my Invisalign plan, and I couldn't be more excited to start. Check out Invisalign.com to find a doctor in your neighborhood. It's great that there are trained Invisalign doctors in our own community here. Invisalign.com.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, Ellen Gamble, what's up, my friend?
All right, we have some construction and some lane restrictions as you're traveling southbound on Route 51, Marty. This is for the folks on Clairton Boulevard and Pleasant Hills specifically. So 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day this week. Just watch out near the intersection with Glenburn Drive as crews do some work and force a single lane restriction there. That could certainly slow your go. Coming toward town on Route 51, it's actually eased off quite a bit. Just traffic light delays all the way along on Library Road. It's intersection with 51. Also, as you get closer to the tunnels by Bousman and making that right-hand turn into the Liberty Tubes. Parkway West on the inbound commute is a little bit heavier all of a sudden, stacking right around the Parkway Center Mall on-ramp before the Fort Pitt tunnels on the inbound ride. We do have the lane restrictions and slowdowns as you come from 279 and 65 today toward the lower deck of the Fort Duquesne Bridge. Bridge inspection crews are working there until 3 p.m. today and then back again tomorrow and Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM at AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A fall-like afternoon with sunshine and some fair weather clouds. Our high temperature 73, then partly cloudy tonight down to 48. Sunshine will give way to increasing clouds tomorrow. Look for a couple of showers late, the high 76. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Wednesday, here we go. Halfway through the week. We are rolling on KDKA this week. Colin Dunlap with you 2 to 6 right here.
We have a celebrity producer today, Margot. And this is big. We're all very nervous
It's
about
big.
it. All right, I got to read this. If you believe what this says, Senate Republicans are Satan's teammates. Senate Republican transit cuts sitting on a green metal bench at the Wissahickon Transportation Center. Emma wondered who to call to ask if her bus is coming. This is crazy. She was more than an hour late to work. A first-grade teacher. She was supposed to be at work at 9, but her usual route was canceled. Missing in action. Couldn't find an Uber. Her heart skipped. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time with this. Her heart skipped a beat every time a bus arrived. Sure it did. Only to discover it wasn't hers. Crestfallen. Senate Republicans cut bus routes, canceled trains, longer commutes. Blaming all of it on Republicans who, in essence, don't give a flying rat's behind. This is the Democratic rhetoric right now. I ain't buying it. It's the fear factor. It's the BS meter through the roof. Is it not, Senator Kim Ward?
Yes, good morning, Marty. You know, this crisis, SEPTA, the board of the transit authority there, this is a self-imposed deadline that they set to try and get everything they wanted by leveraging our babies. And, you know, next week, that's on them because we sent them a bill, and even the governor now has said we can use funding from that Mass Transit Trust Fund.
It's true.
We can use it.
It's true.
SEPTA is even... We're open to it. It was always there. And as much as they keep saying it, when I read it, I get so frustrated because some journalists keep reporting that's for projects. It's for capital projects.
No, this is
money.
true again.
No, it
She's
is
right
not.
Again.
It is not true.
Well, yes. Well, some of the projects are in 2035.
Well, but it's still so much money left, and they will continue to have money put into that. It's for, if you read what the fund is for, it is for operational and capital. So It's not just capital. It's just amazing to me that here they are. They have a pot of money right now. They can go in and we can use it temporarily until we find what they want, which is recurrent revenue, but they're not doing it. The governor can do it on his own right now without anybody, without any legislature, because it's controlled by his administration. It's in PennDOT. It's not in the Treasury. So he can easily release that funding and, their self-imposed deadline, they can open up the routes that they decided they were going to close. But I haven't heard, the one thing I haven't heard is that the world has fallen, the world is burned up in Philadelphia since they've cut those routes.
But they're lying about the access to the funding, and they're making you the bad guys. Are you getting nasty?
They are lying about the access to the funding. They just don't want to. They want to tax. And what happens?
They want this drama. They want this drama.
They do, and when we hear the House Democrats say, we sent you 5 budgets, every one of them would have resulted in a tax increase. Every single one of them. The governor says, 1,000 days ago, I did my budget. His budget was not based in reality. It was $4.8 billion more in spending than what we have coming in, and that spending was based on revenue we don't have, such as recreational marijuana. And he did not even account for the $2 billion more dollars that we're on the hook for because of the expanded Medicaid that he accepted through the Biden administration. None of that was in there. It was like a pretend budget so he could say, I went out and did a budget. You sure did, buddy, but it wasn't real, and it's nothing we can work off of.
So, Kim, right now, with this impasse, when are people going to start feeling the impacts in schools, hospitals, nursing homes without this money funding everything?
Because Democrats are saying right now, the schools are going to be screwed, the nursing homes are going to be screwed, and the hospitals are going to be screwed. They're saying right now.
Yeah. I've been saying that for 2 months if we don't get a budget. And so the last budget sent was, of course, not the final budget. We sent it to the House of Representatives. They deep-sixed it. They didn't come back with any kind of compromise. They just deep-sixed it. So, if the next week or two there isn't something that breaks, then I believe that the Senate needs to be the adults in the room, go back and send them an actual 6-month budget. Just send them the 6-month budget.
Which, by the way, you suggested 2 weeks ago.
I absolutely did.
Yeah.
But they said on what we sent them, which would have funded everything for now. It did the same thing as a 6-month budget, except it was for 11 months. It wasn't a final budget. So everybody would have been getting paid what they got paid last year. And then as we move forward with the budget, it's all made up to them when it's passed. But they didn't. The Democrats didn't want that. They just wanted to kill it. Sometimes you can't have the whole bag of lollipops. You can have a lollipop or two, but you can't have the whole bag. And that is what Matt Bradford, who is the majority leader in the House, he wants the whole bag. And another thing, I saw an article yesterday that the Republicans were off fundraising 2 days ago. Guess what? Matt Bradford was in Pittsburgh fundraising. I don't want to hear it. They're such hypocrites. Such hypocrites.
So when they're supposed to work to try and save the budget and save the state finances, they're friggin' fundraising, begging for money for themselves.
Right, and then they're putting out that some of the Republicans are doing that. They're doing it. They're doing it. It's just such so much dishonesty.
Okay, when's the next meaningful conversation scheduled?
So those conversations are happening, meaningful-wise. They are happening. I think at this point, unless nothing breaks, you're not going to see a bunch of volleying back and forth.
I see.
Unless something, doesn't break. If something breaks, it'll probably be an agreed-to thing, and we'll have gone to the caucus. At least in the Senate, we have to agree in our Senate caucus.
Will you refuse to agree to any... Kim, will you refuse to agree to any tax increase? Will you refuse?
Yeah,
you should.
Absolutely.
You should.
We don't need to do it.
Should.
We don't need that.
You should.
We don't need it. That's what we've been fighting against, is those 5 bills that would have ultimately resulted in a tax increase. That's what we in the Republican Senate have acted as a wall against. And, they can say whatever they want, but the truth is we don't need to raise taxes. We can find ways to pay for this stuff, and we just can't have everything we want. everybody cannot have everything we want.
Hey, Cam, are you getting people calling your office saying nasty things to you about this? Are they blaming you? Yeah.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Not so, but the most of the nasty calls are coming from Philadelphia.
Yeah, I figured. They're angry there. Hey, they're angry people. Hey, before you go, we started the show with this. How much did your wedding cost? How much?
Oh gosh, my gosh, it was 43 years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't really, I can't remember any of that.
A couple thousand?
Probably 3,000 or 4,000. You know, my mom made all the chicken. You know, we had it in the church hall.
See, we're talking about Taylor and Travis.
Well, they have.
They got money,
dollars,
honey.
So
hey, we love you.
Got a lot.
Don't back down.
Thank
no
you.
tax increase, sister. Don't ever even think about it.
You got it. Bye, Margot.
Kim Ward. It's actually my wife, and she's saying bye to Margot.
That's okay.
That's cute. Love it. She's the best. There have been people suggesting that she run for governor. She didn't even want me to mention it. She said, hell no. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, Marty, it's pretty quiet as the folks try to make a mid-morning commute here. It gives us a chance to talk about road work and bridge inspections. It seems like a lot of those going on this week. Plan ahead for daylight restrictions in a couple of spots. The Smithfield Street Bridge gets work 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. with some lane restrictions, as does the Tarentum Bridge connecting Tarentum Borough and New Kensington. Also, bridge cleaning, not inspecting, cleaning in Beaver County means you'll have lane restrictions on the Shippingport Bridge, again, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And this is weekdays through Tuesday, September 2nd. Now, they obviously will not do any work there on September 1st, a Labor Day. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. All the time I'm talking about auto accidents, big crashes, big wrecks. Call 1-800-GET-PHIL or 412-281-5005. Look, Phil DeLucente and Associates, they're in Pittsburgh. They give free, that's right, free consultations. Phil and Ken Nolan, his partner, handle auto cases. I've worked with them a lot. So call 1-800-GET-PHIL. Call Ken Nolan and Phil DeLucente now at 1-800-GET-PHIL today. They're the best, folks.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No interest, 5 whole years. Restrictions apply. Call 412-545-6003. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Tragic news out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. At least 20 wounded in a shooting at a Catholic school in Minneapolis. Let's listen into CBS.
Shooting. And at this school, you see the things, Nate, you'd see on so many social media pages this week. Kids returning for the first day of school, very young faces celebrating this first week at school in Minneapolis. And we are on day 3, and these families are now responding to get their kids at Annunciation Church.
Scott, really appreciate that context. We do want to bring you an update. Sources are telling us that the shooter has been killed And just to recap, the number of people impacted, it is as many as 20. At this point, we don't know the status. This happened at a Catholic church in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Annunciation. We do know that that school is pre-K through 8th grade, so young children were on the scene. And, you know, Nate, as these things happen, we know a lot of things, what we do, what we don't know.
Yes.
It's changing. We never want to speculate.
Yeah, it's changing by the minute, but like you said, they started school on Monday, and they were at Mass, which likely means there was a large amount of people in a concentrated area. The shooter, like you said, has, what we've heard, taken his own life, and then also understanding that the area is contained for the family members and people in close proximity of this school. And just to recap, for everybody that is joining us right now, there has been an active shooter situation in South Minneapolis this morning. Sources tell us that the shooter has died in what is an apparent self-inflicted wound. There are unconfirmed reports of up to 20 victims. This happened at a school attached to a Roman Catholic church. Being that I've been in Minnesota, I lived there, I know the people of Minnesota, I know they are resilient, but I do hope that the healing and also the justice follows very soon. Our coverage will continue on our 24-hour streaming channel, CBS News 24/7. There will be more to come on your local news on this CBS station. And tonight...
Okay, so started about an hour ago. A school, Catholic school in Minneapolis. They're suggesting now that the shooter is dead, self-inflicted gunshot wound. At least 20 injured. A couple things about this that are actually significant. And I talked to Patrick about this a lot this week. There were at least 5 swatting incidents.
Oh, yes.
Including Villanova University, including yesterday morning, we were talking about this, West Virginia University.
Right.
Where someone calls in that there's a mass shooter on campus, and students freak out. The cops fly to the scene, and it's a fake. Right.
It's terrible.
It's horrible. Now, this morning...
it's just as scary as if there's a real one.
Right. And now this morning, the suspect is apparently dead. K through 8 school in Minneapolis. Obviously, we don't know the circumstance of how this went down. We don't know anything about the suspect. But they initially reported that the suspect was contained. The suspect, according to what we just heard from CBS, is dead. All of these schools now, including our kids, go through these drills. Do they not, honey?
Oh, yeah. They're called Alice drills is the particular one that our kids do, but they do learn what to do in an active shooter situation. And depending on the age and the grade level, they call it active shooter or something else.
And the truth is that also police have been trained. As I was coming up in the business, here's what would happen. Active shooter, police arrive, negotiators arrive, discussions begin. 8 hours later, nothing. Not now. Now, police arrive, they organize, they go, and end the incident as soon as possible. This situation developing right now in Minneapolis, a Catholic school, Annunciation Catholic school in Minneapolis. The governor has been briefed, says, I'm praying for our kids and teachers, wow, whose first week of school was marred by this horrific act of violence. There have been significant conversations over the years about school security. There have been significant conversations over the years about police officers armed in schools. In fact, to make this about us, you engaged with the last superintendent to make sure that there was an...
Absolutely, yeah.
Why?
Well, I just saw that was kind of becoming the norm and the standard, at least in high schools. But that's what's so sad. I mean, this is a kindergarten through 8th grade. You know, it's so hard to have that presence everywhere. And does that stop it? I mean, it's just horrific that this is still continuing. It's just so sad.
It's a relevant question. Does it stop it? The Columbine High School, which kind of put these mass shootings horrifically on the map, had 2 armed police officers that day. At the end of the day, though, most people believe that they're important and relevant. Butler,
for sure.
Butler has the best program around here. Butler has 13 retired armed state cops in their schools, 1 in every school. However, I've got to say this. It's very expensive. It's very time-consuming, and certainly most districts can't include all of that in the cost.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a very tough decision for schools on how to handle this. And every time this kind of thing really happens, it renews that debate.
Reports, Patrick sending me this, reports that the students were en masse at the time.
Oh,
when this person stormed in.
It's just so horrible.
And what we're hearing is at least 20 injured. The shooter is contained. They're suggesting the shooter is dead, according to CBS.
Yeah, we don't have any information on what kind of injuries there might be right now.
There is a constant conversation about schools and book bags. There were times in the last few years where I had my kids, our kids, texting me in the middle of the day. Remember this?
Mm-hmm.
Where they were warned that a kid was going to come to school and hurt someone.
Because it spread on through
social
their
media.
phones very quickly. Yes.
And at the end of the day, there's no perfect solution. And no one has all the answers. Whether it's intervening with kids, whether it's armed police officers, whether it's metal detectors. Some parents find metal detectors to be offensive. Some schools do not allow backpacks, and if they do, they allow clear backpacks. There's no perfect solution at the end of the day. So, to recap, a school in Minneapolis, Catholic school, K through 8, suspect dead, at least 20 students injured. Wow. And it looks like he was in the middle of mass. As we hear more folks, multiple victims, as we hear more folks, we will, of course, let you know. On a day when many kids, in a week when many kids go back to school, very excited to have this happen in America, is very distressing and very, very unnerving. Awful, awful. Go ahead, Linda.
Hi, Marty. Hey, I was calling to see if you guys were investigating anything about the epidemic that we have, and I'm sure other countries, not countries, the cities have it, about the kratom and the other drugs that are not U.S., FDA approved, being sold out of these vape stores.
Yes, in gas stations, and very dangerous and very high risk. It's a great call. A lot of kids buy this crap, and it's very, very dangerous. Thank you. We'll keep you updated on the mass shooting, folks.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.
When you call yourself the voice of Pittsburgh, you have to know when to not talk. Sometimes you just need to be the ears of Pittsburgh. Just listen. Listen to what you have to say. These are complicated and uncertain times. But when you need us, we are here for you. And we're listening. A trusted source that you can count on to be here. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. You want a new physical therapy experience? You want a treatment plan centered on you? Monroeville Physical, spelled F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, is spelled different, because they are different. Monroeville Physical has new technology and an expert staff to give you a personalized experience to get you back to loving your life. Monroeville Physical, spelled F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, 412-457-8200. They help me dramatically love physical. Check it out. Hey, it's Marty. My boys at Coit are so proud of the success they have with July savings that they've extended the sale. I love this. Save 50% off drapery cleaning and 40% off all other Coit cleaning services. Full service drapery cleaning, unmatched, takedown, cleaning, and rehanging your drapes. Call Coit right now, 1-800-FOR-COIT, 1-800-FOR-COIT. 50% off drapery cleaning, 40% off all Coit services. I love Coit.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
I spend just about every night now at UPMC Montefiore with my sister Barb, who is fighting the fight, pancreatic cancer. The greatest nurses The greatest doctors, the greatest attentive staff I've ever been around. Every single hour, every single staff member dedicated to her fight against the warrior from hell, I call it, pancreatic cancer. UPMC, life-saving, life-changing information.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 65 and sunny at 11 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen.
This just in. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Law enforcement agencies in Minneapolis are responding to a mass shooting this morning at Annunciation Catholic School. 20 people wounded. Law enforcement says the shooting happened while students were at Mass, and a senior official tells CBS News the shooter is dead, apparently from a self-inflicted gunshot.
Annunciation Church is also Annunciation School, and this is the first day back in classes for students. There are parents out here who I'm being told by them that students are on lockdown inside the school.
That's Taylor Rivera of WCCO Radio at the scene.
There's a large police presence here, over a dozen ambulances. And the entire street here is blocked off with, I can't stress enough, over 20 ambulances.
A person answering the phone at Annunciation School said students were being evacuated now. The FBI, Minnesota State Patrol, and Minneapolis police are at the scene. We'll have the latest with Marty Griffin and again at our 11:30 news. A 25-year-old man died last night after an East Hills shooting. Police were sent to the East Hills Drive area around 9:30 p.m. after receiving a shot spot alert. Officers say the man had an upper body wound and was unresponsive. Medics pronounced him dead at the scene. Pittsburgh City Council has approved a plan to improve traffic safety by installing red light cameras. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has the story.
Councilperson Erica Strausberger, who sponsored the legislation, tells me the city doesn't have enough officers to enforce the traffic laws.
But what we can do is augment our police officers' ability with automated red light cameras and choose the most dangerous intersections and put the cameras there, and then people will start getting tickets.
She says her legislation is not a cash grab or a tax.
We're not keeping any of the revenue. It's literally just to pay for itself, and then the excess goes to the state, which then goes back into cities like Pittsburgh, but also other cities that don't have red light camera programs.
Strausberger says signage will be put in place to notify drivers of the camera enforcement, and once the warning periods have ended, a maximum fine of $100 will take effect. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
U.S. Steel says it will begin the process of removing coke from batteries 13 and 14 at its Clairton plant. Now, the plan is to inspect for damage and determine if the batteries can be repaired after a deadly explosion earlier this month. The process expected to last a few days. Also, new U.S. tariffs are taking effect today for India, one of America's strongest trade partners in the Indo-Pacific. President Trump's 50% tariffs are meant to penalize the nation for buying Russian oil and guns. At this hour on Wall Street, the Dow is up 108 points at 45,526. The Nasdaq is up 34 points. The S&P up 11. KDKA Sports. The Cardinals and Pirates play again tonight at St. Louis. The Bucks will start Carmen Blajinski, and the first pitch is at 7:45. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick with their famous lifetime warranty on materials and labor. Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time 11:03. Time to call One Health Benefits at 724-799-8873. Learn how the Inflation Reduction Act impacts your Medicare plan. 65 and partly cloudy in Pittsburgh. AAA traffic and the AccuWeather forecast next.
Hey, folks, Marty here. When you need work done in your home, the biggest investment in your life, who can you trust to deliver both quality and value? Come on. Call the cousins, Sam, Steve, and Calvin, the three cousins of CNS Cousins Construction. Experts. Top of your house to decking and siding. Their expert technicians will treat you like family. If you're looking for a total replacement or even a small repair, call the cousins at CNS Cousins Construction. 989 Cousins, a local company you can trust. 989 cousins, the best.
Shorkey Mitsubishi has hot deals that'll be gone in a flash. Check them out. 0% financing for 60 months is back on the 7-passenger Outlander. Or choose the brand new Mirage, already the lowest priced new car on the market. Now take up to $2,000 off MSRP. All backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, 2 years of prepaid maintenance, and $500 more for your trade. Locations in North Huntington and the North Hills, or online at ShorkeyMitsubishi.com. Savings include all applicable factory rebates and dealer discounts. Financing with approved credit. See dealer for complete details on all offers.
Folds of Honor has been meeting Sacrifice with Hope since 2019 in Western Pennsylvania. It's their honor to empower people through education and the opportunities it creates. 41% of Folds of Honor scholarships are awarded to minorities, making recipient families as diverse as the country we call home. Folds of Honor has earned the Gold Star Platinum Seal as well as a 4 out of 4 stars ranking on Charity Navigator. You can become a Folds of Honor wingman today at westernpa.foldsofonor.org. Please donate today. Spitzer Toyota of Monroeville is a proud supporter of Folds of Honor.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
All right, what's up is, Marty, it looks like crews are rolling up on the scene of an accident. This in Penn Hills. Heads up, busy Frankstown Road near the very busy intersection with Salzburg Road. That's where you'll find crews and slowdowns there, so keep that in mind. Coming inbound from the eastern suburbs on the Parkway East, not a bad ride, just a minor slowdown for you before the Squirrel Hill tunnels. Between Edgewood, Swissvale, and the tunnels is where you're tapping on the brakes. Parkway West inbound, a decent commute, just a little bit of a slowdown and bunching for you right where Banksville Road comes onto the Parkway inbound. The outbound commute, if you have to head toward the western suburbs or the airport, good ride for you. No problems right now. Very slow for you as you come across 279, the North Shore Expressway, and head toward the Fort Duquesne Bridge. Watch for crews doing inspection work there until about 3 p.m. today with lane restrictions. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sunshine and some clouds this afternoon. Quite comfortable. The high 73. Partly cloudy and quite cool tonight, though 48. Sunshine will fade and increasing clouds tomorrow, leading to a couple of showers late. The high 76. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. Openphone.com/TRY.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Folks, we're staying on top of that mass shooting. No longer an active shooter. The shooter is dead. A self-inflicted gunshot wound at that school, Catholic school in Minneapolis. The latest update: 2 dead and at least 12 injured, as high as 20 injured. Apparently, the suspect went into a Catholic school this morning. Early reports suggest that he went into a mass where the kids were all gathered to go to mass. It's their first week of school, and opened fire and then took his own life. It's horrible, as you can expect, and a horrible story to tell. We will offer live reports every 10 or 15 minutes and stay on top of any new details. As many as at least 2 dead and at least 20 injured at that Catholic school in Minneapolis. Awful. Awful. Meantime, an issue that affects so many of us. My son is 15, found his first joy ride, and I mean joy, last weekend on a motorcycle. He's never been on a motorcycle in his life. One of his boys has a place, his family has a place in the mountains at Hidden Valley, put him on a dirt bike, put a helmet on him, and he loved it. Found the energy and the exuberance. The first thing my wife said was, could he get hurt? And the first thing I asked him was he wearing a helmet? And I raised this issue because the helmet discussion is volatile, quite frankly. Most states have some sort of helmet law. Very few have, you must wear a helmet. Only 17. The rest, varying degrees of helmet law. I'm a firm believer in motorcycle helmets. In fact, my son had a helmet on. Harrisburg has debated this issue for at least 20 years. The old school Harley guys, I wear no damn helmets, my right. Other folks say, when you die, you screw up our insurance. When you die, you screw up the roads. When you die, you put others in jeopardy. Just some numbers before I get to the man. Rough estimates, which is unbelievable. Last year, about 6,500 people died in motorcycle accidents. That's fascinating to me. I did not know it was that high. Motorcycle accidents. The Department of Transportation says that in that same year, approximately 2,000 people were saved by helmets. How about that? Their lives were saved. And they said at least another 1,500 serious head injuries were presented by wearing helmets. My guru regarding motorcycles in a motorcycle family in the best motorcycle shop I've ever been in, Gatto Cycles in Tarentum, fabulous man who knows his stuff, and I always go to him, motorcycles, bikes, and sometimes politics. Mark Gatto, what's up, brother?
How are we doing, Marty?
How are you today?
Oh, crazy. Can't keep up with this world.
So my man, no, legit, how many years have you had this motorcycle helmet debate, Mark?
This has been going on forever.
It has.
I'm trying to think of back when it was repealed, which I think was, if I'm not mistaken, was early 2002 or 3.
And then what, you had to have insurance. If you didn't want to wear one, you had to have insurance, some sort of deal, right?
I don't recall actual insurance. I mean, I'm 56, so in my lifetime, you had to wear a helmet since I started driving until 2003, and that's when it was your choice.
Did you take it off?
Honestly?
Yeah, of course. Why would I ask you to lie, Mark? You're my man.
I do it. I do occasionally, and every time I don't wear it, I have doubts that I should be.
Wow.
So I mean, I can appreciate the what do I want to say? The feeling of freedom. Driving without it it's awesome. It's your hair, if you have hair. It's your hair in the wind. That's another subject. I got a guy for that too.
Yeah.
Dr. Brian Howell and Premier Plastic Surgery Lecturer. He'll take care of you.
You're killing me.
Had to do a plug. No pun intended. A plug. Get it? Come on.
Mark Gatto. So the guys that men throw down on this. Truly, I wear no helmet. I mean, they throw down. Do they not, Mark?
So, Marty, when you called me to ask me to talk, I actually wanted to sleep on it because I want to be very cautious of what I say because the helmet law subject is probably as sensitive in the political world as abortion and other things.
Probably.
So it's a very, very delicate subject. You know, I don't want to be the one that makes the opinion of which way to go because in my own personal opinion, I think it should be up to the rider of who wants to do what. But it's not my choice. I mean, I'm not the one that's going to go out and lobby for it to exist or for it to not exist. I'm going to just let it flow.
Hey, Mark, have you had accidents on a bike?
Nothing major.
Nothing.
Myself personally, nothing major. But of course, in my business, I've seen a lot that have happened. Yeah. And I will say that you know your stat that you just said, how many lives were saved? Helmets are for safety, and they do save lives.
So hold on, Mark. So I want you folks to understand this. He truly is a guru. This man knows that business. You ask him about the motorcycle business or bicycles for that matter, and he's going to give you the straight skinny. So you've seen the data. Do you advocate when a guy comes in, you should probably get a motorcycle helmet?
So I do push safety. I push helmets. I push a lot of safety. I recommend the riders that take the safety school. I actually will personally take a new rider aside, and I will give them the ins and outs.
Nice.
And my parting line with them is you pretend that every SOB out there is trying to run you over, and you'll be fine.
Nice.
A little harsh, but I say it in the truth matter. But I wanted to share with you, I did a little bit of homework since I got your message yesterday. I wanted to look at us as a business of how much our helmet sales have changed. And it was absolutely crazy. I went back a little bit ago, and then I went way back. So way back before the helmet law was repealed.
Yeah.
So 2002, I sold 1,026 helmets. 2003, I sold 1,071 helmets. 2004, I sold 1,256 helmets.
Wow.
So people were still buying helmets even when the law said you didn't have to have them. So the safety-conscious people still want to wear helmets. I'm going to go in a little different direction.
Yeah, of course.
I hate to say this, but I break the law every day on something.
True.
I hate seatbelts.
No, I know guys that still ride with the thing beeping. I exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
No, you don't have to do that. You can go on eBay and buy the little thing that fits in there that shuts it up. They're $10. I have 2 of them. My mom lectures me every day. You need to wear your seatbelt. I'm like, yeah, I probably should, but I have an airbag and I don't want to. It's my choice, but it's not my choice because I'm breaking the law.
Yeah.
So if that wasn't double whammy, because it is. I guess the difference is the police can't see if I have a seatbelt on unless I get pulled over, or if I'm wearing the T-shirt that shows the seatbelt like airbrushed across your chest.
Yeah.
I'm sure you remember those too.
Yeah.
But they can see if you're not wearing a helmet.
Mark Gatto with Gatto Cycles. Hey, Mark. Do you say, based on what you hear in the shop, does this pass, this helmet law? Does it pass, or does it go away like it always does?
I know there's enough out there fighting for it to stay away.
Oh, nice.
I know that a lot of people want to have their choice. I'm not personally one that's fighting for it to come or go.
No, I know. Hey, my man, you see all demos. You see guys my age buying Harleys. You see guys my son's age buying the crotch rockets. Do all the young kids want helmets? All of them? And the old guys don't?
Well, you brought up a good point.
Yeah.
It's not just age, it's the style of the bike.
Oh.
I'm going to say 90-some% of the guys I see on sport bikes, Ninjas, GSXRs, fast bikes, 99% of them are wearing full safety. They're wearing helmets. It's funny enough because you'll see them wearing a $5 helmet riding shorts and sandals. But
and a wheelie on the parkway, which I saw on Sunday.
That too, yeah.
And then the Harley guys, like the guys my age, they're like, I ain't wearing no helmet, right?
You get a lot of that, but at the same time, I'm going to tell you probably 90-some% of those guys actually own a helmet. It's whether they want to wear it or not.
That's right. Mark, you're my man. I love your opinion. I love your business. They're in Tarentum. It's the coolest bike shop I've ever seen, and they're a great family. Thanks, brother.
Thank you, man. Be good.
Mark Gatto. Cool guy. Really cool. Fascinating. I would wear a helmet, and I ordered my son to. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
All right, we have Marty crews clearing an accident. This in Penn Hills, Frankstown Road near the intersection with Salzburg Road. Not an accident in your way, but bridge inspectors, and they are going to be out every day this week. They're there till 3 p.m. today and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow and Friday on the Fort Duquesne Bridge and its approaches from Route 65 and 279. So right now, that approach coming from the North Shore Expressway, it is super heavy, and you want to leave extra travel time if you're headed in that area. Occasionally, those crews will also put up lane restrictions on the span, so you need to be aware of that as you try to travel there. Elsewhere around the commute, Parkway West inbound, just a minor slowdown right around the Banksville on-ramp before the Fort Pitt tunnels. Outbound toward the airport, smooth sailing. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM at AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Friday nights in Western Pennsylvania mean one thing: high school football. This is Greg Diulis of Diulis Law. Calling the right play can change the outcome of a game. Calling the right lawyer can change your life. Whether you need help with family law, criminal matters, or probate and estate planning, call me at 412-736-9638. Diulis Law, one of Pittsburgh's winning teams for over 30 years. 412-736-9638.
So, an older woman in her 80s with cancer, it's a true story, reached out to me a week and a half ago. Poor thing, her roof is collapsing. I mean, literally collapsing. And she has a baby pool in the house to collect water. And NASCO Roofing is going to put a new roof on our house. It's that kind of company, man. It's that kind of service. It's that kind of commitment. NASCO Roofing. Labor, fantastic. Pricing, fantastic. NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
CBS special report, live update right now from Minneapolis, mass shooting.
CBS News special report. There's been a mass shooting at a K-8 school, a Catholic school in Minneapolis. Police say students were attending Mass at the Church of the Annunciation School when a gunman dressed in all black fired a rifle. At least 14 people were injured. WCCO's Jennifer Mayerly.
The shooter died by suicide. We know that the shooter, Minneapolis police told us earlier that the shooter is contained, that there was no active threat anymore.
Some kids leaving the scene while wearing bandages. There's late word at least 2 people were killed. WCCO Radio Steve Simpson.
We are seeing a lot of what appear to be perhaps parents coming to perhaps find their children and take them home. Obviously, some of them are in a state of bewilderment, perhaps panic, as they're trying to get to that location.
The FBI and the ATF are at the scene. President Trump has been briefed and asked people to please join him in praying for everyone involved. Police plan to hold a briefing in just a few minutes. Again, at least 14 people injured in a shooting at a Catholic school in Minneapolis. CBS News special report. I'm Michael Wallace.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Expecting a news conference from there in a bit. We'll let you know. Meantime, the helmet look. If you're watching the stream, please, Patrick, do me a favor and put that stream up of that kid. So, speaking of motorcycles and helmets, I was with my son on Sunday, and we were driving, and there was a teenager on a motorcycle. Just what Mark was talking about, one of the performance bikes. And just to Mark's point, the guy was going, what do you think, 60 miles an hour, full wheelie, jacking around, bouncing the back of the bike off the ground and putting his leg off to the side, jeopardizing his life. I mean, it was crazy. I posted it, probably 600,000, 700,000 people joined in, and half of them are young kids who love this guy. Apparently, he's a professional somehow on some stupid stunt team, and this is part of him acting like a fool. No license plate. I mean, the video is scary as hell. I have seen these kids chased by cops at 120 miles an hour. But to Mark's point regarding helmets, full $500 helmet on his head. It's actually fascinating. Is it really Murray and McMurray?
It is.
I love Murray and McMurray. What a great alliteration, Murray and McMurray.
I do it all the time.
Magnificent Murray and McMurray.
I have a motorcycle helmet story for
Motorcycle
you.
Murray and Magnificent Murray and McMurray. Go ahead, McMurray and Murray. Go ahead, Murray. I'm done being an idiot.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm in my late 70s.
You look good.
But I ride sport bikes.
Oh.
And I've been riding since 1999. And I've always worn a helmet. I've always bought an expensive helmet that actually would fit me.
Hey, Murray from McMurray, which bike do you ride? Do you ride the ones that'll do 160, 180?
Oh no, I had a Suzuki Hayabusa that would go over 200 miles an hour.
Did you get close?
I think the fastest I went was a $165.
Where?
I was right. PA, the PA 48, the toll road that goes north south to Uniontown.
Yeah. And you were going 160. What'd that feel like? What was that like? Exhilarating.
Oh yeah, extremely exhilarating, especially with the motorcycle I had, because I was going uphill. I still had a gear left, and I had 3,000 RPMs. That motorcycle, the Suzuki Hayabusa, was insane. I traded it in for a smaller slightly smaller bike. But my point was,
I'm
I
sorry.
wore a helmet all the time.
Yeah.
And in all those years of riding, it only came to my benefit once.
Oh.
That's all it takes.
That's right. Tell me how it came to your benefit.
I was going about 45 miles an hour around a bend, and a half dozen turkeys were crossing the road. And I thought to myself, they're not all going to be able to get out of the way. Wow. So I just put my head straight down onto my fuel tank.
Whoa.
And one of those turkeys hit me square on the top of the head.
No.
It sounded like an explosion. But what was amazing was, with a good quality motorcycle helmet, I could feel, when it hit the top of my head, I could feel the force of the contact spread out all throughout the helmet, all the way down the sides and the back.
It's amazing.
No injury, nothing. If that had happened to me without a helmet,
like an egg,
I'd have been, it could have been probably worse, because I would have been knocked out of control on the helmet. I'm on a hillside, might have gone over the hillside, could have been fatal.
Hey, Magnanimous Murray and McMurray, were you married at the time you did the 160 on the bike?
Yes.
Did you have kids?
My wife, yes.
Did you tell her?
I tried. She doesn't want to hear about it. She wanted me to, when I first started riding, she wanted me to take out $1 million worth of life insurance.
But my man, if you hit a bump and go flying at 160, ain't no helmet on earth. God couldn't make a helmet to save you.
Oh no, you're done.
Done. Fried.
If you do that, but I didn't want to spend the money for the life insurance, so I bought a St. Christopher medal.
Wow. So Magnanimous Murray from McMurray, would you support a helmet law?
No. If someone wants to be stupid, let stupidity it thins the herd.
No, man, I don't think
it raises the average IQ.
No, man, I don't want kids. I don't want that 18-year-old kid that went flying past us on the back of his bike and could have died. I don't want him dying to thin the herd. That's ignorant. You're not like that. You care about people.
I do. I know. And that is a problem when you have young people making life.
I did those.
I jumped
off moving trains and jumped off bridges and did stupid crap that I would never do again. And I probably wouldn't have a helmet on if I was doing the 180 you were doing. I had a Corvette. I had a massive engine in a Corvette. It was 6 speeds, and I was on what's called the tollway in Dallas, and I had my wife in the car. We weren't married yet. And I went 130. She started crying, made me pull over and drop her off, and she didn't talk to me for like 7 days. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Magnanimous Murray from McMurray. Never did that again.
So maybe they should have mandatory helmet laws when you're driving your car.
Maybe we should grow up. Murray, you're my man. You made my day. Thank you.
All right. Bye, Marty.
But he doesn't believe in thinning of the herd, and neither do I. These are tragic accidents, and when people die on a motorcycle, it's horrible. And I hope they pass the damn law, but they won't. So I talked to John Perry over the weekend from Perry Calder Law Firm. John has doctors on his staff to investigate medical malpractice cases. John has the biggest settlements at Perry Calder of any firm in this region. John has the track record. John sits down with families. He's met with my friends and my family members on cases. Perry Calder, 412-281-4200. 412-281-4200. Perry Calder.
In many ways, Thanksgiving and Christmas are right around the corner. How would you like to sit down at the dinner table, have smaller clothes on, feeling and looking better about yourself, moving easier and faster, welcoming friends and family who are shocked at your weight loss? This is Dr. Shufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. Now is the time to get started so excess pounds will be off for the holidays. It'll be your greatest gift ever. Call me at 1-800-900-THIN. Let's make this a Merry Christmas and Happy Thanksgiving together.
All right, Patrick, you ate at Hofstadt's about a week ago. How good was it?
Amazing.
Right?
Delicious.
And he's a food snob. So add to that, Hofstadt's has prime rib Mondays. My boy, the restaurant king, JK. Prime rib Mondays, Hofstadt's. Dry rubbed, slow roasted, hand carved prime rib with au jus. I love saying that. Au jus. 2 sides. Mondays. Hofstadt's, Oakmont, 4 to 9, Prime rib, brothers and sisters. Go for it.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
65 with a few clouds at 11:30. I'm Paul Rasmussen.
This just in. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Authorities say gunfire erupted this morning during the first week of classes at a Minneapolis Catholic school. The latest update says 14 people have injuries after the shooting during Mass at Annunciation Catholic School. A senior official confirms the shooter committed suicide. This man says gun violence is unusual for the area.
Oh, yeah, it's very safe. I run around the block every day, so yeah, it's very safe. This is atypical. I've talked to one couple who said like they've lived here for almost 40 years. They've never seen anything like this happen before. So.
WCCO Radio's Taylor Rivera is there.
In what's being described as an otherwise quiet and peaceful neighborhood, there's people scattered throughout the road here just waiting for their children to come out that front door. And we are still waiting to confirm how many here were injured, how many are dead, and what the situation is right now.
And again, 14 people injured in the most recent report in this shooting at a Catholic school in Minneapolis. Reports say students were being evacuated after a lockdown. Patrols of the Southside Entertainment District produced 24 arrests last week with no major incidents, and City Council member Bob Charland is praising police efforts to limit the violence seen after bars closed in the early weeks of summer. Charland says each weekend has presented different challenges.
In terms of, this is a promotion that one of the establishments is doing, or the start of high school football.
On the Big K Morning Show, Charland said another issue is fake IDs.
They're pretty sophisticated. So we've been working with the bars on how we can better inspect for these IDs and make sure that everyone who's there is appropriate to be there.
He said the state is helping by sending in liquor control agents to crack down on underage drinking. At this hour on Wall Street, the Dow is up 134 points at 45,552. The Nasdaq up 29 now. The S&P is up 12 points. KDKA Radio News Time 11:32. Our next update at noon. I'm Paul Rasmussen on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Get ready for a Pittsburgh tradition this fall. The 42nd Annual Family House Polo Match presented by FNB is back Saturday, September 6th at Hartwood Acres. Experience the thrill of professional polo, stroll through a vintage car show, enjoy food trucks, live music, kids' activities, tailgating, and more. Bring your friends, your coworkers, clients, or the whole family. Kids 12 and under get in free. It's a day of fun to help provide safe, affordable lodging for patients and families. Learn more at familyhouse.org/polo. See you on the field.
Return to the magic and mystique of the Renaissance. The Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. This weekend, August 30th through September 1st, is Kids Free Weekend. Kids 12 and under are free. Filled with royalty, pageantry, jugglers, and musicians. Comedy, games, fine arts, and crafts. Eat, drink, and be merry at the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. And kids are free. Discount tickets available at pittsburghrenfest.com.
You've waited, and it's here. The biggest Labor Day sale ever at Levin Furniture and Mattress. Shop this week. Save not 15%, not 20, with 25% off store-wide, plus savings up to 65% on door busters. Leave your wallet at home as my friend Robert Levin and his team provide special 5-year financing. No money down on qualifying purchases of $24.99 or more. The final days for amazing savings at Levin's biggest Labor Day sale ever. Check it out.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, Marty, we have an accident in Green Tree Borough. This on Fleet Street, not far from the intersection with Poplar. So watch out for the crews who are on scene tending to that. No accidents in your way on the Parkway West, but certainly slowdowns backing right now, right around that Parkway Center Mall on-ramp before you fit to and through the Fort Pitt tunnels. If you're trying to travel toward the inbound Parkway East and the Squirrel Hill tunnels, just some slowdowns for you between Edgewood, Swissvale, and the inbound tunnel portal. A reminder, bridge inspection crews are working on the lower deck of the Fort Duquesne Bridge and its approaches from 279 and also from Route 65. That's happening until about 3 p.m. today. Right now, we're seeing extremely slow traffic on the North Shore Expressway approaching the bridge. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
My niece was getting engaged, and look, I took her to the spot. I took her to the place where they take care of you like family. Diamonds Direct. Whew! By the time she left there with her fiance, they were crying with joy. The thing is, from the time you walk in the door at Diamonds Direct, they embrace you like family. Would you like something to drink? Would you like champagne? Would you like a snack? I'm serious about this. What do you want to look at? Oh, this? Sure. How about that? Sure. It's a very, very personal, very, very intimate experience. Guess what my niece and her fiance did? They bought their engagement ring and just last week, their wedding bands from Diamonds Direct. It's an amazing, amazing business. Right across, right at the entrance to Ross Park Mall. Perfect location, Route 19. Check McKnight Road. Check it out.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Nice afternoon with sunshine and some clouds and a high of 73. Then tonight will be partly cloudy and rather chilly. The overnight low 48. For tomorrow, sun followed by increasing clouds. Could be a late day shower or two, high 76. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Hey, this is Lisa. You'll only find me at Nest Expressions Window Fashions in Wexford. Blind shades, shutters, and draperies are my passion. Call me 724-933-5500, nestexpressions.com.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Lincoln Summer Invitation Sales Event is at South Hills Lincoln in Peters Township for a limited time. 0% APR financing for 48 months on all new 25 Lincoln Corsairs, Nautilus, and Aviators. Need room for the entire family? Check out the 3-row Lincoln Navigator, completely redesigned for 2025. The Lincoln Summer Invitation Sales Event now at your exclusive Lincoln dealer in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. Route 19 South, Peters Township. These offers end August 31st. Visit southhillslincolnofpittsburgh.com. Join the Allegheny Parks this summer for the 2025 Summer Concert Series. Each weekend, you'll have a chance to enjoy live music on Fridays at South Park Amphitheater and on Sundays at Heartwood Acres Amphitheater. Each concert is free and starts at 7:30 p.m. Local food trucks, craft beer, and wine will be on site at all concerts starting at 6 p.m. For the full lineup, visit AlleghenyCounty.us/summer. That's AlleghenyCounty.us/summer.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
Wednesday, here we go. Halfway through the week. We are rolling on KDKA this week. Colin Dunlap with it 2 to 6 right here.
Mass shooting in Minneapolis. 2 dead that the shooter killed, and then the shooter killed himself, and at least 7 critically wounded. They're planning a news conference. We'll snag some of that live if that happens. Oftentimes they're late. They got a lot going on there. Thinking of mass shootings in America and the same rhetoric, there's this weird cycle. So here's what will happen today. And God bless those folks that have loved ones in there, and they're going to be angry. They're going to be outraged. They're going to demand change, and then the president will say something about guns and violence in America and mental health, and then Democrats will say we need to take everybody's guns away. Then they'll all go on vacation, have a nice lunch, and there'll be another mass shooting in a week or so. Just for perspective, if you don't believe it, I'm telling you, I've been at this a while, and I have seen everything twice. I tell my kids that, and I mean it. Just a few, and I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you how history lives in my head of the mass shootings I've been at. 1986. I honestly can remember it like it was yesterday. I was in my 20s. It was Edmond, Oklahoma. Employee went into the post office and he killed everyone. He killed everyone he could in the post office. I'll never forget. He killed 14 people, wounded 6. That started that whole litany of shootings at post offices, and the whole rhetoric about post office workers, employees are angry and they're armed, and that was just that. 91. Man, think about my life. I was at Luby's. Luby's was a cafeteria. Really cool place, like real country, but like a really cool cafeteria where you grab a tray. It's a big restaurant, Luby's. It's a chain. And they have fried okra. I'm serious. And you go along the line, you get this great homemade food. And there's this really popular joint in Texas. In Killeen, Texas, really small town, this guy named George Hennard, never forget, I could see his face. I can see his ex-wife's face. I found and interviewed after he drove his truck. I can see it as if it was yesterday, and I was there for 5 days. He drove his truck into this Luby's, and he killed 23 people. Lives in my head like it was yesterday. Why am I telling you this? Because it never changes, ma'am. Never. I don't know why it doesn't, but we can't let go of our guns. We can't help enough kids. And then the new conversation was, let's arm teachers. Do you know any teachers? I know a bunch of them. They've polled them, like 98% don't want guns. Now, there are some teachers in some states, including Texas, that have some guns. And from time to time, they stop a shooting. But I hate to ruin your day on this, but I have a friend who's on the FBI SWAT team, and you know what he said? Marty, if I'm running in the hallway with students and teachers running at me, screaming and crying, I am not going to shoot my gun at someone running ahead of me. That shooting stood out. It gets even more violent. The mass killings. I was at Waco from the night before till the night it ended. I watched everyone die. I was in Oklahoma City when Timothy McVeigh blew up the building and killed everyone, including 40 kids in a daycare. I'm not bragging. I'm recounting the horrifying violence that occurs time and time again in this country. And honestly, nothing dramatic ever happens. When I was a young man, like Margot's age, I was, it was my first gig. I was a TV reporter. This is the truth. Wichita Falls, Texas. I got sent to the center of town, and we set up the live remote. And it was at noon. I was a kid, man, in my 20s, and the guy walked out on this front porch, and he had already killed his family in the house. He put a gun to his chest and killed himself right in front of us. And one more thing, mass shooting in Tulsa. The guy killed his entire family, then he went to the center of a field and climbed in this massive tree. We got there before the police did, and he was shooting this high-powered rifle at us, and I was hiding under a car, and there was a farmer beside me, true story, in overalls, and he had a 30-06. You know what a 30-06 is? It's a big hunting rifle. And this old-time farmer, and I love them in Tulsa. I love Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's firing back at this guy who's shooting in our truck. And he looks over at me, he fires, he goes, I think I got him. And that was my life. And that's just a handful of the nearly 20 mass shootings and mass killings I've been at in my long, violent, plagued career, that we end up seeing these horrifying things. And every single time, there's this litany, this circle of ridiculousness and useless rhetoric that never changes. Honestly, gun control doesn't happen. Clip size doesn't happen. Ban AKs, ARs doesn't happen. Seriously, more cops in schools, some have them. More metal detectors in schools, most don't have them. Parents don't want them, or they're intrusive. More intervention for kids, very difficult. Very difficult. More discussions between mom and dad and kids, less and less and less. So there are 800 factors and 800 things that result in a guy going into a Catholic school and killing everyone he can. And it happens again and again and again and again. And it happens in America 1,000 times more than anywhere else in the world, and that's a fact. We're the most violent culture, civilized culture on earth. We should be ashamed, but we're not. PJ Fitzpatrick, Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
All right, Marty, as we look out over the area roads, just some minor delays trying to get to and through town. Parkway West is the heaviest spot, backing right around the Parkway Center Mall on-ramp as you try to fit through the Fort Pitt tunnels. Bridge inspections, very busy with those this week. Plan ahead for lane restrictions and delays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the Smithfield Street Bridge downtown and on the Tarentum Bridge each day this week. And then as you are traveling through Beaver County, not bridge inspection, but bridge cleaning on the Shippingport Bridge, happening 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. weekdays through Tuesday, September 2nd. There will be no work, obviously, on Monday, September 1st, Labor Day. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to the Marty Griffin Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
I got these windows in my house that need replaced. And you want to talk about timing? You got spring here. You got this insanely cool window company, Universal Windows Direct, and this is their home improvement season. What's that mean? Great windows, great product, great service, great pricing. How about this? 50% off your windows right now, half off. You can upgrade your home with beautiful, energy-efficient windows for half the cost. So, what do? 412-545-6003. I'm doing it. And you get no interest and no payments for 12 months, which is spectacular. A whole year. And a free entry door with your window purchase. Universal Windows Direct. 412-545-6003. Universal Windows Direct. Love them.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
Colin Dunlap on KDKA.
I am a gigantic softie for the first day of whatever grade pictures that are posted on social media. It's a perfect use of social media. And get this, it's positive. And you're informing in real time. That's what social media is for.
Weekdays 2 to 6 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
A mass shooting in Minneapolis. Guy went into a church. We don't know age of the suspect. The suspect is dead, self-inflicted, suicide, and at least 2 students dead, at least 12 injured. Here's a live report from CBS.
CBS News special report, gunfire at a K-8 Catholic school in Minneapolis.
We are being told at this time that 2 people did not survive their injuries.
WCCO's Jennifer Mayerly says 10 people are in critical condition. Police say the gunman, dressed in all black, opened fire with a semi-automatic weapon as students were attending a mass and their parents were gathering inside the Church of the Annunciation. The gunman killed himself. CBS's Nicole Skank.
Within minutes, I'm told law enforcement was on the scene. As many as 20 people injured, although we could see that number increase, at least some in critical condition right now and being transported to area hospitals.
WCCO's Caroline Cummings is outside the school.
I just saw walk past us a family with their 2 young boys, and the mother was just overcome with emotion.
We're awaiting a police briefing. 2 dead, 10 critically injured in a Catholic school shooting in Minneapolis. CBS News special report. I'm Michael Wallace.
Over 65 and still on your employer's health insurance? Not sure what's best for you to do? Dina Schmidt and her team of professionals from One Health Benefits provide excellent advice on the best options for your needs. One Health Benefits has been providing people with customized health benefit choices for over 2 decades. You only know what you know, so let Dina and the One Health Benefits experts help you with what they know. Call One Health Benefits today, 724-799-8873. Learn more at onehealthbenefits.com.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The long weekend sale is on at Target with exciting deals you won't want to miss. Stock up on grilling must-haves for a few more sunny barbecues. And while you're at it, ease into sweater weather with fresh new fits for the fam. Whether you're hosting, relaxing, or showing off your new style, Target has your deal in-store, online, and in the Target app. Hurry and save more with the long weekend sale happening now through Monday. Only at Target.
The Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Mass shooting in Minneapolis. There's a significant pattern in America of mass shootings and murders. And we're the most violent, civilized culture on earth. With the most guns of any civilized culture in the world. Almost 1.5 guns for every man, woman, and child in America. I'm not asking you to give your guns up. I'm not asking anyone to ban guns. I'm not asking for clip reductions or the banning of assault rifles because it ain't happening. ARs and AKs, it don't matter. Because then some clown will say, what are you going to do? Ban pools? People drown in pools. God forbid, sir. I just think of the history of mass shootings and that mass shootings that I've stood and watched in horror as people died. I was outside Western Psych. I was there for like 12 hours in Pittsburgh in 2012 when a guy walked into Western Psych and killed 2 people and injured 7. Same rhetoric over and over again. Mental illness, people are upset, how they get the guns. Let's engage, let's have fewer guns, let's have better law enforcement. And then what happens is everybody says, oh, I'm going to get me a gun. Okay. And then everybody says, we got to secure our schools. Okay, but what about when the kids get on a bus? What about the shootings in malls? Huh? Synagogues, Tree of Life. I was there for nearly 2 days, 2018. That's a church. What about shootings at churches? Massive shooting at a church in Texas. More than 20 killed. Atlanta, same thing. It's endemic in our culture. We are addicted to the gun and the violence perpetuated by the gun. LA Fitness. My father's fitness club, 2009. Guy walks in there, kills 4 people. They were all working out. I'm kind of laying this out here to suggest that this ain't no anomaly. It just isn't. Movie theater shooting. Remember that one? Guy went in the dark. Was it Batman related? He had mental illness in Colorado, right? Okay, let's ban all guns in movie theaters. Let's have security at movie theaters. Okay. All right. I'm in. And then I'm buying my woman a gun. All right, you got a gun in your purse on the parkway. You've never been trained. And what are you going to do when the idiot next to you gives you the finger? We have never really wrapped our arms around the truth is that our culture is jacked. People are on edge. We have access to too much weaponry and too much violence in a maddening culture, and we don't spend enough time on mental illness. CBS News special report. You want to grab this real quick, can you? Here comes the news conference. Tell me if you can get it, Margot. It's no big deal. They're going to get in this news conference on this shooting here in a second. Okay, let's wait until it starts. Okay, you have it? Yeah? Go.
Those families are suffering immense pain right now. Think of this as if it were your own. Every one of us needs to be wrapping our arms around these families, giving them every ounce that we can muster. These were Minneapolis families. These were American families. And the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary. And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance. These are the sort of basic assurances that every family should have, every step of the day, regardless of where they are in our country.
Mayor of Minneapolis.
I'm so deeply saddened, and I'm so sorry to the families that I know are suffering right now. My ask is to everyone, stand by them. Love them. These families have forever been changed, and we've all been changed with them. We need to do everything possible to support them through this time. We have a family resource center that has been set up. I'm grateful for all of the law enforcement agencies from a number of different jurisdictions and all the different departmental support that we've received. They're going to be working tirelessly. There's also a family resource center that is being set up as we speak to make sure that we're there for everybody. Again, to the families that are suffering, to those that have experienced loss, I'm so deeply sorry. We're going to be with you every step of the way. We love you. This kind of act of evil should never happen. And it happens far too often. The chief will provide additional details.
That was the mayor of Minneapolis, now the police chief.
My name is Brian O'Hara, B-R-I-A-N-O''H-A-R-A. I am the Minneapolis police chief. Earlier today, just before 8:30 a.m., our city experienced an unthinkable tragedy. Minneapolis police officers responded to a report of a shooting at a mass that was happening at the Annunciation Roman Catholic Church on the block behind me. This worship service was marking the first week of school for children that are attending the Annunciation Catholic School. During the Mass, a gunman approached on the outside, on the side of the building, and began firing a rifle through the church windows towards the children sitting in the pews at the Mass. Shooting through the windows, he struck children and worshipers that were inside the building. The shooter was armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church full of children is absolutely incomprehensible. Police officers from the Minneapolis Police Department immediately responded, entered the church, and attempted to provide first aid and rescue some of the children that were hiding throughout the building, while other first responders came and EMS responded to rush victims to nearby hospitals. 2 young children, ages 8 and 10, were killed where they sat in the pews. Their parents have been notified. 17 other people were injured, 14 of them being children. 2 of those children are in critical condition. The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church. Our hearts are broken for the families who have lost their children, for these young lives that are now fighting to recover, and for our entire community that has been so deeply traumatized by this senseless attack. We will stand together to protect our children, our schools, and our houses of worship. This deliberate act of violence is just a sign of cruelty that is beyond comprehension. Our hearts are broken for everyone that's been affected by this tragedy. As we begin the difficult path of healing, I want the community to know this, that even in the face of such evil, the Minneapolis Police Department and all of our law enforcement partners stand with our community. We stand with these families and with this parish. We will continue to be here for you. With that, the investigation is obviously in its preliminary stages, and I will attempt to take some questions to provide further information.
Minneapolis Police Chief. The mayor was first. Porter's now asking questions.
So we were looking, the question was, what can be said about the shooter? We believe it is one suspect, a sole shooter. We believe he is deceased. He is in his early 20s, does not have an extensive known criminal history. And we are looking through information left behind to try and determine some type of motive. Yeah.
How many kids attend the school? How many kids at the school?
How many children? There were, I don't have an exact, the question was how many children at the school. There were dozens of children inside the Mass at the time. I don't have an exact count. The children have been relocated into the school, which is where their families are reunifying with them. Reg.
Was the shooter a student, former student? Was he a former employee?
The question was, do we know if the shooter was a former school employee or a former student? We don't have that information.
Did he leave anything behind other than the weapon?
There's a vehicle. The question was anything left behind? There's a vehicle that we believe that the suspect used that is being searched, and we are we will be conducting other searches related to this. Inside the parking lot here. Yep.
There was some neighbors who said that the door to the church had been barricaded.
Yep. So the question was, neighbors had said that the door to the church had been barricaded. The shooter approached on one side of the church building, and on that side, at least two doors, it appears there had been like a 2x4 placed. So not all of the doors around the building, but on the side where the shooter did fire.
And on the outside?
On the outside, yes. The question was there any explosives? There were reports of that. There were no explosives or improvised devices that we found. I do believe there was one, I guess you would call it a smoke bomb, like not an explosive, but a sort of a firework that would release smoke.
And which side of the building, north, south?
The side that is closest to us, here, on this side, yep.
Minneapolis Police.
I don't have specific information on that I can release. The question was, is he dead from a gunshot wound? The answer is yes. We believe he took his own life in the parking lot.
Was this outside or both inside that he was shooting?
The question was he shooting outside and inside? He was absolutely shooting outside of the building on the side of the church, inside through the windows. It appears he may have gone inside, but I don't believe we've located any casings inside the building. So I'm not certain if he fired also while inside. It appears, if not all, most of the shooting happened outside the building.
Is this shooting related to any other shootings that happened in the last 24
So,
hours?
yeah, Taylor's asking, is this related to any of the other shootings? This does not appear to be related to any other shooting in the city. The question was how many rounds? I would say it's in the dozens. We don't have an exact count. There's a sidewalk on the outside as well as a grassy area, so obviously we are going through and taking our time to process the scene.
Was he firing just one weapon, like a rifle?
The question was he firing one weapon? We believe he had fired all three. He had a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol.
Chief, was this individual licensed to conceal and carry? Did he have any?
Were the weapons, was he lawfully carrying the weapons? I don't have that information. And I don't have any information on any significant criminal history either.
Was he dressed at all in any tactical type of gear or anything?
It appeared he had some black clothing on, his cargo-type pants. I guess you could interpret that as, however you like.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for helping us to get the information out today. We have a lot more work
questions?
that needs to be done. We will return back later today to provide more details as they become available, and we'll let you know how you can know about that in the moments to come. Thank you.
Okay.
How can the public help?
All right, folks, let's take a break here live from Minneapolis. As soon as we hear new details, we'll, of course, let you know. Horrific situation, mass shooting incident at a church. My God. A man in his 20s with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. Walked up to a church and started shooting through the windows. Killed at least 2 kids, 1 in critical, several others injured, and waiting to hear more. We'll take a break. We're right back.
This back-to-school season, Independence Health System reminds you a healthy start sets the tone for a successful school year. Now's the perfect time to schedule wellness visits for your child and yourself. These checkups help catch health concerns early, support development, and give you peace of mind. Don't wait. Book your appointment today. Visit independence.health to find a trusted doctor near you. Expert care here.
Hey, folks, Marty here. When you need work done in your home, the biggest investment in your life, who can you trust to deliver both quality and value? Come on. Call the cousins, Sam, Steve, and Calvin, the 3 cousins of CNS Cousins Construction. Experts, top of your house to decking and siding. Their expert technicians will treat you like family. If you're looking for a total replacement or even a small repair, call the cousins at CNS Cousins Construction. 989 Cousins, a local company you can trust. 989 Cousins, the best.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
From Greater Pitt Tree Service. I mean, we're good friends. He's done trees in our yard, trees in my neighbors' yards, trees in family members' yards. Why? Best in the business. Best pricing, best labor, best professional service I've ever seen in my life. He's on a job right now, and he does free jobs for World War II veterans. Amazing, amazing man. Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-TREE.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Shorkey Mitsubishi has hot deals that'll be gone in a flash. Check them out. 0% financing for 60 months is back on the 7-passenger Outlander. Or choose the brand new Mirage. Already the lowest priced new car on the market. Now take up to $2,000 off MSRP. All backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, 2 years of prepaid maintenance, and $500 more for your trade. Locations in North Huntington and the North Hills, or online at ShorkeyMitsubishi.com. Savings include all applicable factory rebates and dealer discounts. Financing with approved credit. See dealer for complete details on all offers.
If you are new to Medicare and have questions, Aetna can help. Aetna has a Medicare Advantage plan that includes prescription drug coverage with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plan includes benefits like dental, vision, and hearing. Call Aetna today at 1-833-771-3415 to learn more. A licensed agent will answer your call.
Aetna Medicare is an HMO PPO plan with a Medicare contract. Our DSMPs also have contracts with state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal. Plan features and availability may vary by service area.
It's time to call Vitone's Music Store in Greensburg with large selection of pianos on sale. 724-837-0877.
A fire, it can change everything in seconds, but Service Master of Greater Pittsburgh is ready 24/7 to help restore what matters most. From smoke damage to full rebuilds, their experts are trained, trusted, and ready to work with your insurance. Fire damage? Demand the yellow van and get back to normal faster.
Demand the yellow van. Call Service Master.
You've waited, and it's here. The biggest Labor Day sale ever at Levin Furniture and Mattress. Shop this week. Save not 15%, not 20, but 25% off store-wide, plus savings up to 65% on door busters. Leave your wallet at home as my friend Robert Levin and his team provide special 5-year financing. No money down on qualifying purchases of $24.99 or more. The final days for amazing savings at Levin's biggest Labor Day sale ever. Check it out.
You'll always get quality product and tremendous savings at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. 80% lean fresh ground beef, $3.99 a pound. Whole seedless watermelons, $3.99 each. And plain or wavy essential everyday potato chips, 9-ounce bags, 2 for $3. Additional savings in our meat department. Ready-to-grill ahi tuna steaks, $9.99 a pound. Meaty, tender St. Louis-style spare ribs, $2.99 a pound. In our produce department, locally grown sweet corn, $4.99 a dozen, and 1 pint of blueberries or 1 pound of strawberries, 2 for $6. In our deli department, fully cooked pulled rotisserie-style chicken, $9.99 a pound, and made fresh in-store Coons potato salad, $4.79 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Coke, Sprite, or Dr. Pepper, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, 3 for $15.
So get in on the tremendous savings you'll find every day at Coons Market. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
This is certified elder law attorney Julian Gray, and I've been helping Pittsburghers for 30 years navigating the legal issues surrounding aging. Get ready for your retirement years and what lies ahead with a no-obligation consultation. Visit grayelderlaw.com.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Mass shooting, Minneapolis. From Ron Layton, the smartest man I know who has seen this same movie before. early 20s. This is the suspect. You watch. Minimal criminal history, social media, and subsequent search warrants will show troubling activity and research, but nothing illegal. Sound familiar? Sound like the shooter who tried to kill the president? It does. Cops doing unheard of things that in my day when I was young, they never did. So mass shooting, crime scene, cops show up, set up a perimeter, and wait and talk. Not anymore. Now they activate. Now they go. First time I saw it, Western Psych shooter. Cops entered and put the shooter down and ended that tragedy quickly. They put their lives on the line. They had specialized training. One of my friends who I've known at least 15 years, who is now the chief of Baldwin Borough, and that's Gary Craig. Hey, Gary, how are you, brother?
Good, Marty. That's Baldwin Township.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm losing my mind.
Sorry, my buddy's Chief Baldwin Borough.
Yeah, you should be the chief of the world. You have an extensive history in this sort of active shooter training, do you not, sir?
Yeah, military and law enforcement, civilian.
The process by which police officers like yourselves, the professionals, embrace these situations or act in these situations has changed dramatically, has it not?
Yes, it has.
Tell us what happens now versus what used to happen.
Well, years ago, sorry about that.
Sorry.
But 30-some years ago, when I started in 93, the police would wait, set up a perimeter, wait to have a SWAT team, or wait to have enough officers go in and look for the suspect. Nowadays, since Columbine and the other school incidents, you get one or two guys, you automatically go towards the gunfire, no matter what.
No matter what?
Yes, you're supposed to do that, Marty. Sometimes, unfortunately, there's cops out there that don't do that.
Yeah, it's happened in shootings in Florida and in Texas where that issue was raised significant time. Hey, Gary, so this sort of training, what is the philosophy in changing the training to be so assertive and aggressive, sir?
You want to stop the casualties or the killing as fast as possible, Marty. And unfortunately, that means if there's people down injured, you walk over to people. You don't render aid. You still go towards the perpetrator.
Oh, and
it's hard to do as a police officer, not to help somebody that's down, but you also have maybe 5, 10, 50, 500 people in that school also that need your help, so you have to keep moving.
And it could be anywhere. This is Gary Craig, Baldwin Township Police Chief. This doesn't have to be a school or a church or a mall. These sorts of shootings have happened everywhere, have they not, sir?
In businesses, grocery centers, you name it, it happened.
It happened. And when you do the training with your guys, what do you tell them as you begin this process of teaching them this method?
As soon as you arrive on scene, you get all the information possible. And if it's just you, you go. If there's another guy, you both go. And if there's people down, you keep moving. As hard as it could be to keep moving, when you want to render aid, you got to keep moving and stop the shooting in progress.
You're not surprised anymore by the significant number of mass shootings, are you, sir?
No, since COVID, Marty, there's been a dramatic increase in mental health calls, mental health problems.
By the way, this is an astute observation. So a lot of people on edge, sir.
Oh, very much so, Marty.
And a significant number of people that you see now out on the streets that probably need help and aren't getting it, sir.
Oh, correct. I mean, I think the majority of the calls in the South Hills are probably mental health calls, Marty, anymore.
Do you have a team of officers prepared for this sort of intervention?
Yeah, we're lucky we did, Marty. We had the South Hills Community Government CERT team, led by good people, real well-trained officers, and like I said, some of the best officers I've ever worked with are out in this area. So I have full trust in all of them.
Gary Craig, go ahead, sir.
And it's been proven time and time again how well they've done and performed over the years.
Baldwin Township Police Chief. And the departments that don't have these should get one, because these mass shootings, they will not stop, will they, sir?
No, well, unfortunately, Marty, there's 130 municipalities in Allegheny County. Most of them are under 10 officers, so we do rely on the bigger departments like Mount Lebanon, in them areas like that. They form their own. We form our own CERT teams, critical response teams, basically. Moon Township has them out there. We have them out here in the South Hills. Northern Regional has theirs up there in the north part of Allegheny County, and they all work together. They all work the city of Pittsburgh, the county, the state police, and all that. And they're, like I said, they're great officers. Most of them are military. The best of the best, Marty. The best officers around.
Gary Crick, Baldwin Township Police Chief. It's always a pleasure, man. Congrats on the new job.
You too. Thank you, sir.
I've known him for at least 20 years. He's a fabulous young man. And he's an amazing cop and has trained a lot of cops in these sorts of shootings. Al, go ahead.
What I was going to mention is that is a great guy, but you're focusing on the wrong level. We have 3 branches in the federal government.
So you're going to tell us how to, you're going to lecture us on how to fix the mass shooting issues.
Well, if I could finish my sentence, maybe you'd give me a chance.
I don't like guys that start reading from the mount as if they're lecturing the masses. I like guys that have pragmatic, common sense approaches, and suggesting Gary's coming at it from the wrong approach is not true. There's several different approaches to this. Continue, sir.
That's not what I was saying.
Okay.
Just give me a chance, brother.
I'm trying here. Go.
Yeah, okay. Try harder, okay?
Oh, wow.
There's
so
3
now
branches.
I'm going to try harder. No, I'm not into the lectures today. Bye. Go away. Shoe fly. Write a book. See how many people buy it. I get irritated when this sort of thing happens. I can't imagine the horrifying experience of losing a kid. I don't know. And there is no distinct answer. There's no real common ground solution. There's no real end to it. Let me just do a search here. This is what creates why I get attitude with him and others that know it all. But no one knows it all. That's why we have another mass shooting here. Did you hear what that police chief said? A guy in his 20s with 3 guns walks up to the side of a church and starts shooting kids through the window. And the chief makes a point, we're an open society. And anytime you have a democracy, anytime you have an open society, you're going to have this sort of thing. However, so is Canada, Gary. And they have less than 40 homicides in a year. Just saying. Why? Gun control, sir. Same with England, sir. 1/100th the number of shootings that we have. We have a violent culture. We're the most violent, civilized culture on earth. Hold on a second. I'm just going to search in Google AI, mass shootings this year. This is what's so crazy about this violent culture we're in. Mass shootings this year. The mass shooting tracker. Okay? The mass shooting tracker. Mass shootings. Total of 260. This is crazy. A total of 262 people have been killed and 1,161 people have been wounded. And 268 shootings as of July 31st, 2025. How about that? I just don't know anymore. That's based on shooting should be 4 more people in a single event. Shooting in a single event. Okay, in case you're wondering. In this case, Annunciation Catholic School at their church, West 54th, between Harriet and Garfield, if you're familiar with Minneapolis. They started church around 8. The church is attached to the school. The gunman approached from the outside of the church and began firing a rifle through the church windows toward the children. An 8-year-old, 10-year-old were killed while they sat in the pews. Of the 17 others injured, 14 are children. 2 of them are in critical condition. The Mass marked the beginning of the year at Annunciation Catholic School. I sat in pews like that. I went to Sacred Heart Elementary, Central Catholic. We had church once a week when I was young. And here we are again. The shooter in his 20s, shotgun, pistol, rifle, Shot as many as people as he could, went to the back of the church and shot and killed himself. Minimal criminal history. Minimal. And then you have the defenders. Steve, on social media, who has his eyes covered because he's afraid that the world will know who he is. You're comparing countries with the population of Rhode Island. Really, sir? So what you're saying is we're cool. That Canada has the same population as Rhode Island. My man, not only do you have a problem with understanding violence, you also don't understand population size. And if you're so courageous, you should probably show a picture of yourself on social media instead of a friggin' mask. What are you afraid of? And I'm a walnut. Okay. Go out there and buy another gun, sir. Ignorant. Ignorant. It's ridiculous. I get so annoyed with the gun nuts. Because here's what will happen. I'm going to go out and get the old lady a gun. Yeah, that'll help.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, it's Marty. My boys at Coit are so proud of the success they have with July savings that they've extended the sale. I love this. Say 50% off drapery cleaning and 40% off all other Coit cleaning services. Full service drapery cleaning, unmatched, takedown, cleaning, and rehanging your drapes. Call Coit right now, 1-800-FOR-COIT, 1-800-FOR-COIT. 50% off drapery cleaning, 40% off all Coit services. I love Coit.
Well, folks, fall is fast approaching, and the September Weiner Wellness Weekend is the 19th and 20th with workshops from 10 to 2 on Friday and Saturday featuring Dr. Tracy Stroop, Dr. Len Brantzwitz, and Dr. Dennis Courtney. A delicious, healthy lunch will be provided from 11 to 2, and, of course, lots of samples, healthy treats, all in honor of Jamie Dorley's birthday. The discounts on your favorite supplements start August 25th. All of this is the World of Wellness, 2419 Baldwick Road, Pittsburgh. That's 2419 Baldwick Road, Pittsburgh.
John Perry proudly sponsors Get Marty. Perry Calder Law Firm, the best, folks.
This is Ron Schlava from the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh. We've been simplifying the home selling process since 2015. If you're thinking of selling, give us a call. We'll help you get the most money in the least amount of time. Call 412-500-9057 or visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com for a cash offer today.
All right, Patrick, you ate at Hofstadt's about a week ago. How good was it?
Amazing.
Right?
Delicious.
And he's a food snob. So add to that, Hofstadt's has prime Rib Mondays. My boy, the restaurant king, JK. Prime Rib Mondays, Hofstadt's. Dry rubbed, slow roasted, hand carved prime rib with au jus. I love saying that. Au jus. 2 sides. Mondays, Hofstadt's. Oakmont, 4 to 9. Prime rib, brothers and sisters. Go for it. So, an older woman in her 80s with cancer, it's a true story, reached out to me a week and a half ago. Poor thing, her roof is collapsing. I mean, literally collapsing. And she has a baby pool in the house to collect water. And NASCO Roofing is going to put a new roof on our house. It's that kind of company, man. It's that kind of service. It's that kind of commitment. NASCO Roofing. Labor, fantastic. Pricing, fantastic. NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000.
The Pittsburgh Speaker Series presented by University of Pittsburgh announces its 25-26 season at Heinz Hall. 7 events will broaden your perspective and deepen your understanding of the world around you. Featuring Dr. Anthony Fauci, Malcolm Gladwell, historian Doris Kearns Goodwin, former Russian political prisoner Vladimir Kara-Murza, and geopolitical economist Pippa Malmgren. The series is sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James. Tickets on sale now at pittsburghspeakers.org.
Get Marty's brought to you by UPMC. Life-saving, life-changing information.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh, my God. I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Partly sunny and 70 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 12:30. I'm Paul Alexander.
I just saw walk past us a family with their 2 young boys, and the mother was just overcome with emotion.
CBS News Minnesota, Carolina Cummings at the scene of a shooting at a Catholic school in South Minneapolis.
I'm right in front of the entrance to the school. There is people with looks of just shock and horror on their face, witnessing this unfold in real time and knowing it happened in their community, in their backyard.
This morning's gunfire came during the first day of classes. The shooter was reportedly a man wearing black clothing and carrying a rifle. 2 students are dead, at least 17 injured, 2 critically. The shooting at the pre-kindergarten through 8th grade school came as students were attending Mass. A senior official confirms the shooter committed suicide. Enrollment continues to slide at Pittsburgh Public Schools. We hear more from News Radio KDK's Pat Septek.
Data from the Pennsylvania Department of Education shows Pittsburgh Public Schools enrollment has fallen about 2,000 students from 2014-15 to 2020, and then another almost 3,000 students from the pandemic to the 2023-24 school year. Frank Gamrat, executive director for the Allegheny Institute for Public Policy, says this enrollment slide isn't going to stop anytime soon.
Pittsburgh and the leaders in the area have got to do a better job of bringing jobs here to attract people or keep people from leaving so that our schools can rebound.
Neighboring school districts in the county didn't fare much better. He says it's a financial burden for these districts as they try to maintain the buildings and the system they have with fewer students. Pat Septak, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 95 points, the NASDAQ down 6, the S&P 500 up 8 points. KDK Radio News Time, 12:32. Our next update at 1 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander, the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
UPMC is one of the largest and most experienced heart transplant programs in the state, offering hope for even the most complex cases.
Because of the expertise that exists here at UPMC, it allows us to take on patients that have been turned down at other centers. It's extremely rewarding to be able to transplant patients that are on death's door. It's the closest thing I think we have in medicine to a miracle.
Your heart care matters. Visit upmc.com/heart to learn more.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Shop incredible end-of-summer savings at the Scandinavian Designs Labor Day sale. For a limited time, take up to 70% off select modern furniture and decor for every room in your home, including living room, bedroom, dining room, and more. This is the perfect opportunity to get your space prep for the party season ahead. Stop by your local showroom today or shop online at ScandinavianDesigns.com. Scandinavian Designs. We make it simple, you make it home.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-334-1155. 800-334-1155. Again, that's 800-334-1155.
My niece was getting engaged. And look, I took her to the spot. I took her to the place where they take care of you like family. Diamonds Direct. Whew! By the time she left there with her fiancé, they were crying with joy. The thing is, from the time you walk in the door at Diamonds Direct, they embrace you like family. Would you like something to drink? Would you like champagne? Would you like a snack? I'm serious about this. What do you want to look at? Oh, this? Sure. How about that? Sure. It's a very, very personal, very, very intimate experience. Guess what my niece and her fiancé did? They bought their engagement ring and just last week, their wedding bands from Diamonds Direct. It's an amazing, amazing business. Right across, right at the entrance to Ross Park Mall. Perfect location, Route 19. Check McKnight Road. Check it out.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A fall-like afternoon with sunshine and some fair weather clouds. Our high temperature 73, then partly cloudy tonight down to 48. Sunshine will give way to increasing clouds tomorrow. Look for a couple of showers late, the high 76. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
If you're turning 65 this year, review your Medicare Part C options now. You need to know the difference between Advantage plans versus supplement plans. Contact locally owned and operated Need Part C today for a free consultation. That's Need Part C. Beat the annual enrollment rush. NeedPartC.com.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
CBS Eye on Veterans. Veterans have always struggled to get their disability and benefit claims approved by the cumbersome and bureaucratic VA system. Navy SEAL vet Anthony Rivera founded VetAvise, an AI-powered VA claims assistance tool that ensures vets get everything they deserve.
Current numbers are staggering. So there's 35,000 plus claims adjusters, but late last year they were reporting 78% accuracy rating. 22% was inaccurate, meaning they didn't decide on that claim correctly. Frustrating, the veteran are like, I give up. So now, if the veteran presents information through VetAvise, through our technology, it's a 95% accuracy rating.
Brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving all branches of the armed forces, veterans, and their families. No matter where you are in your military careers, we have the products and resources to help you navigate your finances. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Our members are the mission.
Wednesday, here we go. Halfway through the week. We are rolling on KDK this week. Colin Dunlap with you 2 to 6 right here.
There's a pattern in terror, and this is terror, mass shootings. In my career, I've seen, as I mentioned, with unemployed, angry men killing 25 people at a restaurant who are just angry with their wives. True story. And then mass shootings at post offices. I was at 2 of those. Then that's, okay, let's intervene and help employees. Then mass killings in Waco. Oh, wow, we have a situation with cults in America. Let's try and address that. Then we had the explosion at the Edward Murrah building in Oklahoma City. I was there, and it's guys who were disgruntled in the military. Let's address that. Then it was 9/11. Oh, the overseas terrorists. But we never get to the root of it, ever. And we can never really feel like addressing the root of it. This violent culture that we live in. And I hear the same thing. It's a democracy. We have open borders, and that's that. Oh, okay. And now we have these mass shooters that no one knows where the hell they came from. Out of nowhere with a couple social media posts. A stranger with a very little background in any sort of criminality. And no clue why he did this until we know, and then it's too late because he's dead and so are the kids. And it's horrifying, and it's horrible. And Ron Layton, who forgot more than most of you ever knew about this sort of thing and violence in America. This guy will turn out to be kind of what we've described as a cliche, won't it, Ron? Similar background, right? Same thing.
Hey, Marty, thanks for having me back on KDKA. Yeah. So one of the things that we're going to find out is that he will be fairly similar to what we've seen for the last, 10 years. Now, they'll dig into this evening. They've already got him identified, which means you've got victims, unfortunately, at the hospital. They've got to process this crime scene, but they've also got to start the background on this gentleman, which means once they get him identified, they've got to go out and they've got to do search warrants on his residences, wherever he lived in the United States. They'll do that this afternoon and do that this evening. So there are a couple of agencies who have done a lot since we've started in this space. But you can say the agencies have done a lot, but to what end? We're still seeing this stuff. Most of the work has been done on the prevention side, and that's not going all that well, obviously. But it's been tripwires, Marty. So what are the behaviors that lead up to this? Unfortunately, all of those behaviors are legal. And when we see individuals, whether it's Thomas Crooks or whether it's this particular individual,
right on.
These particular random kind of, when they come up, they're hard to deal with from the prevention side because they don't hit any of the tripwires. So the first action that you often see is the illegal action, and that's pulling triggers.
And you nailed it, brother, and I'm so glad you mentioned Crooks. Here we are. We still don't know why the hell he did it. We still have no idea. Some kid did some checking, might have wanted to shoot other presidents. We still don't know any of it, really, do we, sir?
So let me tell you what the tripwire list is for law enforcement folks. And again, you can go read this stuff.
Yeah.
But it goes like this. It's interest in violent topics. 50% of the weapons obtained were usually from the home. This is the case in Crooks's particular event. They're almost always a grievance-based crime. There's some behavioral component that is extremely concerning to others. Most attackers were bullied. Marty, that's 60% of the kids in the country.
Wow, it's so damn true.
So the point is that if you think about it from the standpoint of saying, I'm going to look at this list of behaviors and then try to actually get this kid some help, because here's where you have to interrupt this stuff, and it's nearly impossible. It's during the planning phase. So what happens is we find out they're going to do the search warrant this evening, and he's going to come up with hits on Columbine, everything forward.
So
the fact that he carried 3 weapons, he will have searched who else carried additional weapons. Now, it turns out that for this kind of a thing, as awful as this is to say, I don't know what the hell he was doing with the shotgun and the pistol. He read it someplace.
Right.
All right. Now here's the other thing. There's a planning phase. Every once in a while, and we saw this with Thomas Crooks, there's a physical reconnaissance phase, meaning they go out. He knew that there was going to be mass that morning. For whatever reason, he decided to initiate his shooting from outside. Marty, I'm telling you, it would have been much, much worse had he gotten inside that particular church. And here's what happens. I have taught this stuff to bunches and bunches of cops, and I don't know, probably 3,000 civilians for active shooter stuff. Yeah. In high school, we learned fight or flight. It's not true. That's not the way it works. It's fight, flight, freeze, faint. When you are a kid.
Hold on, what's that? Hold on, go ahead. What's that? Repeat.
It's fight, flight, freeze, faint. Wow. The reason that I teach this is because most kids do the same damn thing. And the truth is, cops will do it too. That initial volley of gunfire, you'll just freeze. And half of active shooter training is that you got to get the hell away from where you are, like right now. But kids will vapor lock. And so that's why if he makes it inside, it's much worse. So the point is is that whatever level of training this kid engaged in, it looks like it could have been much worse had he actually known what he was doing, as awful as that is of a thing to say.
No. I get it.
I get so sick of having to come on really any media outlet, and now we are starting to couch these mass shootings with saying it could have been worse.
You know, I interviewed.
But this could have been much worse.
I interviewed Dylan Klebold's mom, and this kind of whole process of mass shootings in America kind of started with Columbine in 1999 and killed 12 people. And his mom, this is truth, his mom had no idea, had any training in this violence, had any of the black coat of the weapons. In fact, he had sat in his room with his dad the night before he did all this and talked about how well he did in school and how college was going to go. And my point is, so much of this, my man, is in the darkness of their mind, and they do it in privacy, in secret, and we have no access to any of that. None, do we, sir?
Marty, there's another component to this, and it drives the discussion of things like teachers with guns and, you know, my solution to this is when I take my kid to school, I'm just going to get a gun. Here's what drives that. I worked in St. Paul for a year planning a convention, and I know the area fairly well. It's a lot of small departments. That's good because you get a lot of mutual aid. But even so, the response time for high-priority calls in Minneapolis is 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
Whoa.
So what that means, everybody is dead in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So what you're going to say is...
Someone in that church needs a gun.
That's exactly right. And the data is going to show I need to help myself before you cops get there. The argument is fascinating. I know lots and lots of teachers. Teachers do not sign up to tote a pistol.
They don't. Can you hang for a minute, ma'am?
I can.
Yeah, it's vital information. Margot, can you please have Bob call back a little after 1? I want to hear from him, too, but this is important stuff as well. We'll be right back, folks. This is important.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Soldiers and Sailors Hall and Museum recognizes Pennsylvania's combat veterans who have received medals for gallantry. With this Hall of Valor moment, here's the curator of Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall and Museum, Michael Krause.
Sergeant William J. Sweeney of Allegheny and Cumberland counties was awarded the Silver Star Medal for gallantry in Normandy on 7 June 1944. While advancing forward, Sergeant Sweeney noticed a wounded officer lying in an open field 400 yards away and braved intense enemy fire to rush to his aid. After administering treatment, Sergeant Sweeney returned over the fire-swept area to assist in the evacuation. Sergeant Sweeney's action undoubtedly resulted in the saving of the life of the wounded officer.
Soldiers and Sailors Memorial reflects the valor and heroism that shaped this great country. Consider a tax-deductible donation. For more information, visit soldiersandsailorshall.org.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Most people have no idea there's an invisible gap in their home's protection. This invisible threat is house stealing. Con artists pick a house. They transfer the deed of this house into their name by obtaining the forms, using the fake IDs, and filing the paperwork with proper authorities. Now they own the home. Protect your home from this invisible gap. Check on your home's title right now at HomeTitleLock.com. Be sure to use promo code RADIO and they will send you a complete title scan of your home's title. And your first 30 days of triple lock title protection is free. HomeTitleLock.com.
This is Attorney Christine Brown Murphy with the law firm of Zachariah Brown. If you have a loved one in a nursing home, we need to talk. Give our office a call at 724-942-6200 or visit our website at pittsburghelderlaw.com.
The KDKA Radio High School Football Game of the Week. Powered by Bowser Chevrolet. is back. This week, Ian Richland is at Central Catholic.
Presented by Invisalign, Allegheny Health Sports Medicine, official sports medicine provider for high school football. Giant Eagle, Keystone Custom Apparel, and brought to you by the U.S. Navy. Forged by the Sea. Remarkable Auto Works, collision repair and service make your car remarkable. Red Ribbon Soda, Pittsburgh's Pop, and by Noble Environmental.
High school football lives on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hey folks, Marty here. Oh my, what a great time to get windows. It's so darn hot. Universal Windows Direct. Check this out. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit. No interest for 5 years. 5 whole years. Super Spacer Technology. Folks, it's a great company. 412-545-6003. Free in-home estimate. I'm telling you, folks, great company, great price, great technology. Universal Windows Direct.
Return to the magic and mystique of the Renaissance. The Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. This weekend, August 30th through September 1st, is Kids Free Weekend. Kids 12 and under are free. Filled with royalty, pageantry, jugglers, and musicians. Comedy, games, fine arts, and crafts. Eat, drink, and be merry at the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. And kids are free. Discount tickets available at pittsburghrenfest.com.
At AHN, we see you juggling 100 things at once. That's why we made it easier to book with the doctors you need. With AHN online scheduling, you can book with your primary care provider or get time with a specialist. Visit ahn.org/schedule, answer a couple of simple questions, and search for providers, locations, and times that work best for you. Easy online scheduling. Because at AHN, we see you.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Boeing pausing contract negotiations with its striking machinists union, pushing any additional talks until after Labor Day. 3,200 workers at Boeing's defense facilities near St. Louis, where it makes fighter jets for the military, walked off the job on August 4th. That's after rejecting the jet maker's 4-year contract proposal. 2 days of voting ends tonight for hundreds of employees at a brand new Blue Oval SK manufacturing plant that just started making electric vehicle batteries for Ford Motors and a South Korean partner. Those workers deciding whether to join the United Auto Workers Union. On Wall Street, stocks are mixed, mostly seeing very modest gains today as investors await for earnings after the closing bell from AI chipmaker NVIDIA, the world's most valuable company. The Dow up 0.25%, the NASDAQ and the S&P are flat. And Sony and Netflix already talking about a sequel to the runaway hit of the summer, the animated musical K-pop Demon Hunters, Netflix's most-watched movie ever. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Talking about this mass shooting in Minneapolis. At least 2 students dead, the shooter dead. Shooter came out, had a rifle, shotgun, and a pistol, came to the outside of a church and just started shooting through the windows and hit at least 20 kids. The internet has become this library of knowledge for these shooters and folks involved in these mass-type killing events in an attempt to kill a lot in a short span of time. Specific example, I sat in the home with the parents of Alex Reibel. He was a young kid, and the name might ring a bell, Murraysville. Remember this? Franklin Regional. 2014, a kid came to school with 8-inch kitchen knives and just started stabbing everyone in the hall. You know where he got his motivation and inspiration? Columbine. If I'm lying, I'm dying. They find their courage, and they're empowered by other acts of violence on social media. It has enabled them, hasn't it, Ron Layton? It's a dangerous tool for them, isn't it, sir?
It is a tool for radicalization, to be certain. I think you find this small subset of people that go from aspirational to operational.
Oh, yeah.
And they look, and the fact that this gentleman carried a rifle, a pistol, a shotgun. When I was a special operator on the president's SWAT team, you know what I carried? A rifle, a pistol, and a shotgun.
No.
Yes.
Wow. So what are you saying? That they read all this stuff?
I'm saying that there is so much widely information available on the internet that it is very easy to go out and say, well, what's an FBI hostage rescue team operator carry for their weapons? Well, you can find that. What's a Secret Service counter-assault team operator have for their weapons? You can find all that. What's the Navy Team 6 have? And you can find that. So look at it's even manifesting itself in the type of dress. Why do these guys always want to go out and dress in black? Why? It's because of the imagery and what they see. And correct, they all get it from their phones.
By the way, it also empowers them. They feel as if they're in a band of brothers creating havoc, whereas before they'd be alone in the dark trying to figure something out. Seriously, I've seen this.
Yeah, I have as well. It's what happens is it's the echo chamber.
Yep.
And the more time you spend inside that environment, and in truth, you already are probably having issues.
Yes.
And you only need a little bit of a push, a little bit of a push, a little bit of a push, and then all of a sudden you are radicalized and you're there. And you know who knows about it? Nobody.
And really, in my world, and I'm sitting there talking to Patrick about it with our kids, the best way to address this is at home, sitting there with your kids. Hey, man, you all right? Hey, man, is everything okay? But honestly, oftentimes even they don't open up to parents. They're just doing something in their head. And it starts online and goes from there. Horrible.
Marty, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You're making the assumption that the parents themselves are rational.
It's true. There is no friggin' solution, is there, Ron? No real kind of blanket, let's limit this particular gun. There is no real particular solution, is there?
Well, here's the other problem, too, that we've not really talked about, but I think there's an influence. Have you looked at the amount of time, the average screen time that like a 15-year-old spends on an iPad or an iPhone?
It's amazing.
I mean, it's getting to the point where it has replaced everything from throwing a football outside to family dinner.
It's true.
To going to the movies.
And they live in that
depending on
world.
how you spend, and they live in that world. And guess what doesn't make it any better? Artificial intelligence.
Ron Layton, my brother, another horrifying day with fascinating insight. I can't respect and admire you more, my man. Thank you.
Marty, thanks. Be well.
I'm hoping the discussion kind of helps a little, but we can never provide the ultimate solution. I don't judge you because you own a gun. I don't judge you because you don't sit down and know everything about your kids. I just hope that we all do a little better with all those things. Communication. Understanding mental health initiatives, that sort of thing. Because after the fact, we don't know what the hell to say other than here we go again. And I promise you, today Democrats will roll out some initiative to ban whatever guns this kid had. And then Republicans will say, we need teachers to have the guns. And then we'll just all go home and wait for the next incident to happen. And we all cry together.
The KDKA Mobile News Fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
You've waited, and it's here. The biggest Labor Day sale ever at Levin Furniture and Mattress. Shop this week. Save not 15%, not 20, but 25% off store-wide, plus savings up to 65% on door busters. Leave your wallet at home as my friend Robert Levin and his team provide Special 5-year financing. No money down on qualifying purchases of $24.99 or more. The final days for amazing savings at Levin's biggest Labor Day sale ever. Check it out.
Summers in Pittsburgh are great, but you don't want to spend it painting, so do what Don did. He called Rhino Shield.
Well, the home's built in 1948. Paint on the aluminum siding was peeling, and I couldn't find anyone who would repaint it until I called Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield's better than paint. And the crew?
Painted all my aluminum siding, and I've got a front porch that runs the whole length of the house and all the pillars. And once they were gone, I couldn't even tell that they were there.
And right now, you can get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers.
Well, I've told a lot of people, do the Rhino Shield. It's really a great product, and that would be the way to go.
And here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. Openphone.com/TRY.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Partly sunny and 70 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 1 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander. News brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. For all your home's windows, siding, doors, and bath, trust PJ.com. Authorities say 2 school-aged children are dead and more than a dozen others injured in a shooting during the first week of classes at a Minneapolis Catholic school. Governor Tim Walz called the Wednesday morning shooting horrific. The Minneapolis city government says the shooter had been contained after the gunfire at Annunciation Catholic School, and there's no longer any active threat to residents. The school was evacuated, and students' families were later directed to a reunification zone at the school. Chief of Police Brian O'Hara explains more on some of the details.
He was absolutely shooting outside of the building, on the side of the church, inside through the windows. It appears he may have gone inside, but I don't believe we've located any casings inside the building. So I'm not certain if he fired also while inside. It appears, if not all, most of the shooting happened outside the building.
Authorities say the gunman took his own life. While enhanced policing has reduced violent incidents on the south side, a city council member says challenges remain for law enforcement. News Radio KDK's Paul Rasmussen has that story.
Bob Charland has nothing but praise for Pittsburgh police efforts to bring order to the East Carson Entertainment Zone. He says problems started to surface in the early weeks of summer as bars were closing.
We continue to look for better ways to manage that and better ways to manage the bar closing.
And on the Big K Morning Show, Charland said the biggest issue they're dealing with is fake IDs.
We have had a major issue with underage kids, especially as colleges have started to come back.
He says they're working with bar operators to reduce underage drinking, and the state has sent liquor control agents to help. Paul Rasmussen, News Radio KDKA.
The Beaver County man with a warrant for arrest and theft is now in custody. Raccoon Township police say Stephen Bombiani was found hiding inside a trailer in New Sewickley Township. He's accused of pushing and punching an elderly woman and stealing over $100 from her. Authorities say the victim's still undergoing medical procedures for her injuries. Pittsburgh is moving ahead with an effort to crack down on motorists running red lights. News Radio KDK's Tamara Rush has details.
Councilperson Erica Strasburger says the new red light camera system won't be 100% automated.
by state law and per our own ordinance, there has to be a human who decides in the tough cases where, someone might be stuck in the intersection because they want to make a Pittsburgh left, or they're trying to let people pass them and they get a ticket, but, there was no choice because they were stuck in the middle of the intersection. There's going to be a human officer who decides whether or not a ticket should be issued.
Strasburger says Vera Mobility will operate the cameras at a cost of $14 million over a 5-year contract, but the city can recoup the cost with revenue generated. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 78 points, the Nasdaq up 24, the S&P 500 up 9 points. KDKA Sports, Pirates and Cardinals play game number 3 of their 4-game series in St. Louis. Carmen Malinsky will start for the Bucks. First pitch, 7:45. KDKA Radio News Time, 1:03. Right now, it's partly sunny and 70 degrees in Pittsburgh. Your AccuWeather forecast is next.
It's time to call Vitone's Music Store in Greensburg with large selection of pianos on sale. 724-837-0877.
Friday nights in Western Pennsylvania mean one thing: high school football. This is Greg Diulis of Diulis Law. Calling the right play can change the outcome of a game. Calling the right lawyer can change your life. Whether you need help with family law, criminal matters, or probate and estate planning, call me at 412-736-9638. Diulis Law, one of Pittsburgh's winning teams for over 30 years. 412-736-9638.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks. Crafted with our signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The PSL. Get it while it's hot or iced. Only at Starbucks.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
Having a tough time paying your bills? Learn how to reduce your credit card debt to a fraction of what you owe. Call the Debt Helpline now for free advice. 800-329-9912. 800-329-9912.
Americans spend $66 billion on weight loss products and services each year. And you know what? Right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Bitchoff has helped thousands of people do just that: lose weight, keep it off. In fact, he's been helping people take back control of their lives for more than 20 years here in Pittsburgh at the PA Hypnosis Center. You have an opportunity to do the same. Are you battling anxiety? So many people are. He can help you with that. If you want to quit smoking, Dan Bitchoff is the call you should make at the PA Hypnosis Center today. Schedule your free consultation at 724-934-8446, 724-934-8446. Dan can help you reach your goal with a 98% success guarantee. 724-934-8446. Call now.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sunshine and some clouds this afternoon. Quite comfortable. The high 73. Partly cloudy and quite cool tonight, though 48. Sunshine will fade and increasing clouds tomorrow, leading to a couple of showers late. The high 76. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Injured? This is attorney Ed Shenderovich of Shenderovich and Fishman. Our fee is only 25%, and we guarantee we'll win your case or you pay nothing. So call us at 888-98-TWINS. We've got your back, not your wallet.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Can't help but think of where when you love is when something like this happens, or where you've been where incidents happen. And how many times you sat in church and, ma'am, excuse me, I'm trying to finish something that's rude to eat, but I apologize. When I was growing up, and it's all changed, church was the inner sanctum, man. That was the safest place on earth. We were always told it was always open. Remember this? You can always seek shelter there. Probably sat. You know what those kids did today? That mass, I was in 1,000 of those. When I was in grade school at Sacred Heart. And then at Central Catholic, same thing. They always brought us to mass. It was the way you kicked off a year where they celebrated various religious holidays. And for this to be violated this way is just horrific. And we're constantly trying to find out why, and we'll find out. And it's interesting what's happening, too, is what happens is the rhetoric. And this is the danger, by the way, the danger of social media. And I warn everybody out there that there is no filter. What will happen is someone will get some idea of who they think did this, and then already there's a video out there and a manifesto and a guy that they're accusing of this, and none of it's validated, none of it's verified. But what will happen is it'll be liked and 1,000 times and put in 1 million feeds, and this young man will be tried and convicted. We're not doing it. And then they characterize him as someone, a particular sexuality, and then that becomes part of the rhetoric and the hate, and we're not doing it. We're not. And you know, then the rhetoric will be two things. Take away all the guns. This is what happens now, the rhetoric. Take away all the guns or give everyone a gun. It's true. Because the guy had a rifle, shotgun, and pistol. Well, you can't take away rifles, shotguns, and pistols. There are close to 300 million of them. And then they give everyone a gun is also ignorant. Ron Layton mentioned it, and he's right. I know a lot of teachers. I love them. They're amazing, courageous people, life-changing people. They surveyed. Now, these are Pennsylvania teachers. Maybe they, excuse me. Maybe they feel different in Texas because some of the teachers actually have guns in schools in Texas. They do that. They've done it for several years. And there have been no accidents reported. But they interviewed, they have thousands of teachers in Pennsylvania. About 95% said they don't want guns in the classroom. And so this notion of give everyone a gun is ignorant, too. You can't. And what will happen, too, is, so what we'll do is now we'll fixate on schools today, but there have been mass shootings in nursing homes. You know that, right? And banks. You know that, right? In restaurants. You know that, right? In movie theaters. In shopping malls. Truck stops. Football games. It's just awful. And police are always in specialized training because they have to be, because the culture has changed and the culture of violence has changed. But we have had mass shooters historically for generations. Fact. You know how I know this? Bob Garvin, one of my boys, has been law enforcement for more than 4 decades. Good afternoon, brother. How are you?
Good afternoon, Marty.
You were shot at or shot in a mass shooting incident? I forget the narrative, but please describe it for us.
Back in 1977 in Wilkinsburg, we had a sniper up on the railroad tracks that opened up on us. The bullet holes were still in the police station out there.
Wow.
And it was a 17-year-old young man who had got tickets from our officers and had his license suspended.
Oh.
And luckily, he told his girlfriend, who called the station and said that what he was planning on doing. We had no idea. We pulled up in front of the station. He opened up with a 30-06.
Oh, my goodness.
And
that's a high-powered deer rifle, folks, in case you want to know. Go ahead.
Well, the particular ammunition he was using went through the outside wall, through the inside wall,
Whoa.
and into the radio room where our dispatcher was.
And what was he grousing about? Because you gave him tickets.
Because he got tickets and had his license suspended. That's why he said he.
And what, he had told his girlfriend he was going to kill all the cops?
Yeah, he was coming. He was going to go to Wilkins. He lived in the city, but he was coming over to Wilkinsburg and he was going to kill a cop. And it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Dead of winter.
And when was this? When was this?
Wilkinsburg.
What year?
Boy, getting old. 1977.
That's
I want to say.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
So my point is, and your point is, this ain't new, is it?
No, it's not. And, on the gun issues, and we've discussed this many times, all the surveys forever, why a person gets a gun permit to carry, it's number one reason they write down protection. Okay?
Yeah.
That's been for 40 years. Statistics overwhelmingly have shown in that same period, if a person who got a gun permit for protection and end up that weapon being fired, 82% of the time shot either a cop responding, an innocent person, or a child killed themselves. 82% of, like I said, of gun permits issued for protection, and that weapon was used. That's pretty overwhelming to fight that these weapons are good for protection.
Well, and you and Ron have this kind of symbiotic relationship and think the same. Leighton said, and I sent him a note, and I said, if 8 teachers in that church today had guns, it wouldn't have meant anything. And Ron responded, they'd have shot each other if they would have remembered they had a gun. Stress is a rough one, right?
Well, I challenge anybody, and people have a right to like firearms, use them. They should have training in a weapon they're using.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, this overwhelming level of weapons, I will tell you somebody, most of the time, has never been shot at.
It's true.
Because once you've been shot at, you don't really like guns anymore. It's just that simple.
Yeah. Can you hang for 1 second? Hold on.
Sure.
I want to put him on hold real quick, and then I want to grab Jim, and then we're going to go to Jim. Go ahead. Thanks for your patience. Go ahead.
Hi. About the guns, like what you just said, people are going to be calling you about, well, if you give everybody guns, okay, and then the opposite, nobody should have guns.
Right.
Well,
everybody, half of them want to take them away, half of them want to give everybody guns. It's true.
Right. I'm an ex-police officer, and, like I say, it's not the gun that kills, it's the person behind it.
It is,
But then giving everybody a gun doesn't necessarily mean it. Because we go back to Texas, you had 150 police officers. Unfortunately, those weren't the police officers that had the guts to go in to stop it. They had 150 guns.
That was the mass shooting in South Texas, and they refused it.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And nobody made, they stood around.
They stood in the hall. The police chief actually was indicted for what you're saying. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's sad.
Yeah, it is.
But I stand behind our police officers. Like I said, I used to be a police officer. So it takes a special person.
It does. And
to do that. And I don't blame, in a sense, I don't blame somebody for not wanting to go in, but that's your job.
It is.
And to stand around and let kids get killed, that's wrong.
Can you? Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's sad.
I appreciate you. Hey, Bob, hang in there, brother. Folks, I'm going to take a break. We'll be back in a minute.
Listen to the Marty Griffin Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
So I talked to John Perry over the weekend from Perry Calder Law Firm. John has doctors on his staff to investigate medical malpractice cases. John has the biggest settlements at Perry Calder of any firm in this region. John has the track record. John sits down with families. He's met with my friends and my family members on cases. Perry Calder, 412-281-4200. 412-281-4200. Perry Calder. Carlos is my man from Greater Pitt Tree Service. I mean, we're good friends. He's done trees in our yard, trees in my neighbors' yards, trees in family members' yards. Why? Best in the business. Best pricing, best labor, best professional service I've ever seen in my life. He's on a job right now, and he does free jobs for World War II veterans. Amazing, amazing man. Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-TREE.
Refresh, restore, and protect your employees and customers. Call Zero Res to clean your business the right way so your floors and surfaces stay cleaner longer without the harmful chemicals the other guys use. Call 412-701-1188.
Get Marty's brought to you by UPMC. Life-saving, life-changing information.
Hi, it's Lynn Hayes Freeland. You know, 90th anniversaries are a big deal. That's why AARP is joining forces with Social Security to celebrate its 90th anniversary. So what does that mean to you? Well, there are going to be free events throughout the area where you can win some prizes, learn more about Social Security, and find out what AARP is doing to help you. So how do you get more information? It's real simple. Go to aarp.org/local.
We're all human with the same insecurities, doubting ourselves, thinking we're not worthy or good enough, believing those negative thoughts we think. Stop! Every last one of us is good enough to be the best version of ourselves. This is Dr. Shufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. Come to me, and together we'll change that way of thinking. Excess pounds will come off, you'll feel and look better, and thoughts will become positive. If you want to change, just call me at 1-800-900-THIN.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Join Rob Pratt every Sunday at 11 a.m. for Black and Gold Sunday, presented by Coons Market, your hometown Pittsburgh grocer. Rob keeps you posted on Pittsburgh sports with 2 hours of exciting talk. That's Black and Gold Sunday, 11 to 1, presented each week by Coons Market.
Planning a vacation can be fun, but don't get taken by service fees and processing fees. SWAC Vacations lets you book direct. SWAC owns its own properties. The price you see is the price you pay. Michael Bartley here. My friend Jeff is the owner of SWAC, and you can trust you're going to get the best deal possible. That means more money for your family trip to Myrtle Beach, a luxury lodge in Deep Creek, or that massive Outer Banks house with room for everyone. Book direct. Save at SWACvacations.com. That's SWACK Vacations.com.
Here's your Jill on Money question of the day.
Taylor from California asks, years ago I worked for a company and I'm eligible for a pension. If I had started this year at age 62, I would receive $628 per month. If I wait until age 72, the amount jumps to $1,600 per month. How do I value this pension? Taylor, for every $1 million or so that you have saved, it usually can generate 30 or 40 grand a year. Having a pension that's nearly $20,000 per year when you're 72, that's equivalent to having more than $500,000 invested and saved.
Have a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Marty Griffin. A mass shooting in Minneapolis. We've been talking about it all morning because it's important. Trying to kind of sift through what's going on. There's some social media outlets are naming a suspect. We're not going to do that, but a lot of hate-filled comments on his site. Pictures of Jesus with targets on it. Pictures of weapons. Hate towards Jews. 6 million wasn't enough. Just hate-filled, nasty, disgusting rhetoric. And it's along the lines of what Ron Layton had pointed out. Multiple videos on social media and his hate. Clearly hated Christians. Where is your God? He had a target. If this is him, I'm not going to name him a target in one of them showing all of his weapons and his hatred for Christians. And so it goes. 11-minute video he posted. It's unbearable to watch. And these things play out in a way that they never played out before. And it's always after the fact, and we never know prior. It's really difficult to read these lone wolves and all the anger out there, isn't it, Bob Garvin?
Well, absolutely. And like you said, I am all for people having firearms, and owning firearms, but I think we need to demand that anyone who carries or purchases a firearm has to be able to also show proficiency and able to handle that weapon safely. Because there's where a lot of your accidental shootings take place. And as far as the point I brought before, we had that happen in Pittsburgh. We can train people how to use a firearm, but how do you train them how to handle stress? The situation I'm going to tell you about took place in 1970 out in Oakland. Pittsburgh police officer Bill Otis responded to a burglary in progress at a home. It was a Pitt professor, a very stable person, a very well-educated person. He thought his home was being broke into. Officer Otis showed up, went to the front door and checked. In a panic, the professor fired the weapon, went through the door, and killed Officer Otis.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Right here in Pittsburgh. So you're not going to, I hate to say it, I've been through so many active shooting scenarios. You're not going to stop it. That's a mentality that, I don't know, but people have to be rational.
Well, hold on. I mean, you're going back 50 years, so you're proving what you're saying is spot on.
Yeah, this is not new.
No.
And we have to be, it's a very emotional thing, but we have to approach it practical. Yes, if people are going to have firearms for protection, they need to be able to handle them safely. We will never be able to teach people how to, in a stressful situation, react. Police officers, all the times are in it. I've been to officer-involved shootings. You say, how many shots did you fire? And their weapon's empty. They fired all 16 because in that tenth of a second, under the stress,
it's true.
You go blank.
It's at the end of the day, it's a horrific situation, and I appreciate Bob because he's lived it. And I wanted him because what he's saying is spot on. We're talking about 50 years ago. There was a very disturbing video on social media of this alleged mass shooter. He's going through this weird chants and singing and showing weapons and bullets, and it's horrific. And what troubles me is that we find this stuff out about these folks an hour after he kills everyone he can. He's showing a manifesto. He's showing an arsenal of guns with writing on them. It's highly disturbing. One of the magazines has "Kill Donald Trump" written on it. The other one says 6 million wasn't enough, referring to, he refers to Bowers?
Yeah, Robert Bowers' name is written on the gun as well.
Who's the Tree of Life mass shooter. It's horrible, folks, and deeply distressing. There's a target in the video that shows a picture of Jesus. Where is your God? Wow. On one of the magazines that I'm seeing right now. Man. Pain and hate on one of the magazines, fully loaded with high-powered ammunition, and narrating every single one as he prepares to kill as many kids as he can. Blank you. All right, folks. It's an evolving situation and deeply, deeply distressing. We'll be right back.
If you are new to Medicare and have questions, Aetna can help. Aetna has a Medicare Advantage plan that includes prescription drug coverage with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plan includes benefits like dental, vision, and hearing. Call Aetna today at 1-833-771-3415 to learn more. A licensed agent will answer your call.
Aetna Medicare is an HMO PPO plan with a Medicare contract. Our DSMPs also have contracts with state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal. Plan features and availability may vary by service area.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The long weekend sale is on at Target with exciting deals you won't want to miss. Stock up on grilling must-haves for a few more sunny barbecues. And while you're at it, ease into sweater weather with fresh new fits for the fam. Whether you're hosting, relaxing, or showing off your new style, Target has your deal in-store, online, and in the Target app. Hurry and save more with the long weekend sale happening now through Monday. Only at Target.
Hey folks, it's Marty. You want a new physical therapy experience? You want a treatment plan centered on you? Monroeville Physical, spelled F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, is spelled different, because they are different. Monroeville Physical has new technology and an expert staff to give you a personalized experience to get you back to loving your life. Monroeville Physical, spelled F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, 412-457-8200. They help me dramatically love physical. Check it out.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Mostly sunny and 71 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 1:30. I'm Paul Alexander. 2 children are dead and 17 people are injured after a mass shooting at a Catholic school in Minneapolis. We have more from CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace.
The gunman, dressed in all black, fired shots through the windows of the Church of the Annunciation, where students from the church's K-8 school were attending Mass. Police Chief Brian O'Hara says the shooter took his own life.
The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church full of children is absolutely incomprehensible.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry.
They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence.
Police are looking into the shooter's motive. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
New data from the Pennsylvania Department of Education shows that enrollment numbers for Pittsburgh Public Schools continue to drop. The decline in enrollment actually began about 20 years ago, and just within the last 5 years, PPS lost nearly 3,000 students. Why the continuing slide? Frank Gamrat, Executive Director for Allegheny County Institute for Public Policy, says it all comes down to one word: jobs.
Jobs draw people to the area. When people are drawn to the area, they bring their families. When they bring families, that means there's kids in the schools. And we're just not seeing much in the way of economic growth to have a whole lot of hope or a whole lot of expectation that this enrollment slide is going to stop anytime soon.
Says one thing that the district can do to help with enrollment is improve the district's ranking on state achievement exams. A Republican lawmaker is pushing a $500 million annual boost to fix Pennsylvania's crumbling bridges. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush has the details.
State Rep. Carrie Benning-Haas' bill would put $2.5 billion of the state's rainy day fund into the funding of bridge repairs across Pennsylvania. The Pittsburgh Business Times reports House Bill 1820 would put $500 million a year for 5 years into the Commonwealth Supplemental Roads and Bridges account to fund construction, maintenance, and repair of the Commonwealth's roads and bridges. The January 28, 2022 Fern Hollow Bridge collapse that injured 4 people led to a nationwide conversation about bridge safety. House Bill 1820 was referred Tuesday to the Pennsylvania House Transportation Committee, which could discuss it sometime after the House reconvenes in late September. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 125 points, the Nasdaq up 32, the S&P 500 up 13 points. KDK Radio News Time is 1:32. Our next update at 2 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
All right, Patrick, you ate at Hofstad's about a week ago. How good was it?
Amazing.
Right?
Delicious.
And he's a food snob. So add to that, Hofstad's has prime rib Mondays. My boy, the restaurant king, JK, prime rib Mondays Hofstadts, dry rubbed, slow roasted, hand carved prime rib with au jus. I love saying that. Au jus. 2 sides. Mondays, Hofstadts, Oakmont, 4 to 9. Prime rib, brothers and sisters. Go for it.
At UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, we believe cancer care shouldn't just be good enough. It should be life-changing. As the region's only National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center, we provide groundbreaking treatments and innovative clinical trials with renowned cancer specialists and a compassionate support system for patients and their families. Discover more at upmchillman.com/lifechanging.
It's Dan Zangrilli. I love being a member of Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. It was easy to enroll. In fact, I didn't know how easy it was to become a member. To join Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, you simply have to live, work, or worship in Allegheny, Beaver, or Butler counties. It costs just $5 to join. I have all the great perks of a credit union, and you can too. So shape your future. Consider a local credit union. Consider Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. AllegiantFCU.org. Federally insured by the NCUA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A nice afternoon with sunshine and some clouds and a high of 73. Then tonight will be partly cloudy and rather chilly. The overnight low 48. For tomorrow, sun followed by increasing clouds. Could be a late day shower or two, high 76. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
If you're turning 65 this year, review your Medicare Part C options now. You need to know the difference between Advantage plans versus supplement plans. Contact locally owned and operated Need Part C today for a free consultation. That's Need Part C. Beat the annual enrollment rush. NeedPartC.com.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us tomorrow morning, 5:30 until 10. The Big K Morning Show. The Savannah Bananas are coming to town. 2 sold-out games Friday and Saturday at PNC Park. Why are they so popular?
A serendipitous moment here in the studio. Lance O'Brien is a friend and who's the expert guru with Medicare, MediConnect, Medicaid, and that's great, and it's very important right now. But I also rely on him for his background as a minister and a pastor. And the older I get, the more I realize that there is no safe, there is no sanctum. And I know you know this. When we were growing up, church was like a safe. No one went in there. No one created problems. It was where you went for the ultimate protection, was it not, sir?
Well, yeah, I think it was the church. I think it was our neighborhoods.
Yep.
Like, you could go anywhere at almost any time and feel like I'm going to be safe, nothing's going to be wrong. And,
yes.
And that feeling, unfortunately, has evaporated in our society.
It's so friggin' true. We could spend the next hour just on mass shootings in churches. And this particular mass shooter, and they haven't verified it's him, but we're going through videos that they say are his with hate directed towards Christians and hate directed towards the church. And there is that in America, is there not, sir?
Yeah, there is. I think the saddest thing in our society now is, like, 40 years ago, you could have been on the opposite side of an issue from somebody, and there still would have been goodwill and conversation.
True.
Right. And a lot of it for me, unfortunately, I think is a result of social media.
I completely agree.
You know, where there's just so much access to information now. I think over time people can become keyboard warriors, and then everything that grows out of that. And it's just incredibly sad, you know, what's happening in Minnesota right now and just in our country in general.
So you said something. This is Lance O'Brien, who was a minister and knows this stuff. You said something actually very poignant. Your congregation, did you have security?
We did. Really? Yeah, we got to the place where we had concealed guard carry every Sunday, you know, because you never know.
Hold on, though. How? Because this is actually intriguing. How did you get to that point? What made you say, I'm the pastor. Here's what we're going to do.
Well, it's very interesting because when I took over the last church I pastored at, which I was there for 15 years,
Nice.
it was right after or right during the time when they were having those sniper shootings
Yes.
down in the D.C., Virginia area.
Yes.
And that was actually the catalyst that was like, listen, you can't go anywhere and know if you're safe. And we're just like, people should be safe when they go to a building or a place of faith. And we just made the decision, hey, do we have some guys in here that we can train, and ladies, for that matter of fact, actually, that have concealed carry permits. And we always made sure that we were staffed and ready to go.
Wow.
And there's a lot of churches doing that today.
No, it's 100% true. In fact, we could show you videos where active shooters have actually been stopped.
Yes.
2 incidents in the last 6 weeks where they were stopped by members of congregations.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and there was one here recently, I think, even in our city, wasn't there? Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
That
was awful.
It's, so like, again, I know the gun issue is a very hot topic in our country. I understand that both sides of it. But when there's somebody that wants to go awry, if nobody's there to protect, then that person's going to do maximum damage.
As a man of God and as the head of a parish, when was the moment when you said, wow, what the hell's happened to us? I am now asking people to bring guns to church so that they might have to get to a point where they might have to kill someone in my church.
Yeah.
When did that happen to you, and how did that affect you emotionally? And as a Christian man preaching love and kindness and family and Jesus.
I think it's a really good question. It's a pointed question. The exact date and time I probably obviously don't know. I just think that there's a time where we stopped feeling safe.
Wow.
And then it was like, how do we get some of that control back?
Yeah.
And that's, again, for me.
Hold on, that's a great. So this is actually so relevant. So as a pastor, I've got to protect these folks. And you used a significant word. I need control of this environment, right?
Yeah, for sure. And actually, let me go back to the story I said just a minute ago, because we actually were supposed to go to a Christian event down in that area when it was happening.
Wow.
And we ended up canceling going because I was like, well, I don't want to put my people in harm's way. Right. Because it was just random. Right. That was so random how and all of these acts are literally random. And I think that's how do you protect yourself when you don't know when it's going to pop up?
Lance O'Brien, a former minister, currently one of my most valued sources and friends with regard to Medicare and Medicaid, but this kind of usurps that today, and we will certainly get back to that. It also suggests to me, and we've talked about this, the disintegration of our society and our culture, where now you ain't safe nowhere, because I can name schools, churches, shopping malls, movie theaters, buses, trains, airports, right? Restaurants.
Yeah, it used to be, I feel like you would have an argument or a disagreement, and if it escalated beyond a conversation, it was usually fists being thrown.
Yeah.
Right, that's the way the world that we lived in probably 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's not that. It's like there's such a feeling of a level of disrespect now that it has to come to the ultimate violence. It's really spiraling and crazy to think about.
And now what happens, and Patrick's pointing this out, like there's a manifesto floating around, there's videos and guns, and any of this could be AI generated, any of this.
Mm-hmm.
But what it does, and you touched on this, it enables and empowers others out there thinking, I got this, I can do this now. This gives me the force of that anger and rage to carry out the plan I've had for a while now, doesn't it?
Well, it does, and I think, again, with the social media, it's made people crusaders of fame.
Wow.
Right, where they want their 15 minutes, and where maybe before it was much more difficult to get. Now everybody's got a cell phone at every scenario. Sure. They're videoing everything, and unfortunately there's a lot of hurt and broken people.
Yeah.
Like, for whatever, I was busy up until the moment I left here. I was actually almost late today.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't hear about...
You didn't know this?
I didn't know when I walked in, right? So, I'm walking in...
Yeah, because I saw the look in your eyes.
Yeah, I'm walking in, blind, if you will, today. And again, to me, it's just like, this kid was probably hurting. I had a phrase when I was a pastor, hurting people hurt people.
Wow.
Right, like there's just a reality around that, and we need outlets for people. Again, I'm not condoning, obviously, on any level what happened today, but like there's just so much pain right now, and people don't know how to, they don't know how to actually live that out or express it, and then it comes out in really bad ways.
Hey, as a minister, you're up there and you're preaching, and you have the congregation. Did you ever look around? Did you ever think? Were you ever watching?
Always trying to be aware.
Were you?
Right. You're always trying to be aware. You know, again, it's tough because you want people that are new into your parish, your congregation to feel at home, but you always have to be aware of people that you don't recognize, and make sure that I think there needs to be a high level of self-awareness of your surroundings.
And a significant number of the people that we know suffer in silence, and they find this dark world of people that enable them in social media and empower them in a place that they could never seek that power anymore.
Yeah, again, because unfortunately people do flock.
Yep.
Right. They migrate to people that have similar views, and instead of maybe getting probably not the best word, but instead of getting the correction or the redirection that they need, it actually fosters and feeds into it, and that's a really scary thought.
Lance O'Brien, hey, the congregation, the church that you attend now, do they have people with guns?
Absolutely.
Do they?
Absolutely. Most churches these days do.
Wow.
And again, it's even before this rash of what we've been seeing happen. It's
sad,
more.
Though, right?
It is sad.
Yeah.
Like, again, to me, and everybody will have different opinions on that, and I respect this, right? But like the church should be a place anyone should be able to go to.
Which is what it was when we were young.
And feel safe.
Right on.
Right, and feel welcomed. That's and
right.
feel accepted,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And now to worry about not just the church, but to your point, the supermarket, the parking lot of Walmart, whatever it might be, like it's the random violence because people are not really able to handle what's going on inside of them, and then we've escalated the level to which they acted out. It's sad,
Can you hang?
Yeah.
Lance O'Brien, kind enough and at an appropriate time to be able to discuss both his past and the present and the threat that people face. And as a kid, if I ever thought that they thought they'd need a cop with a gun in church, people would have said, "You're full of it. You're dead wrong." But now it turns out to be most do.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me. Like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night, too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Most people have no idea there's an invisible gap in their home's protection. This invisible threat is house stealing. Con artists pick a house. They transfer the deed of this house into their name by obtaining the forms, using the fake IDs, and filing the paperwork with proper authorities. Now they own the home. Protect your home from this invisible gap. Check on your home's title right now at HomeTitleLock.com. Be sure to use promo code RADIO, and they will send you a complete title scan of your home's title. And your first 30 days of triple lock title protection is free. HomeTitleLock.com.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade.
Dana Carvey.
Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities.
And every Monday you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, ShopRite, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page or by clicking on KDKARadio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information. Free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
Get ready for a Pittsburgh tradition this fall. The 42nd Annual Family House Polo Match presented by FNB is back. Saturday, September 6th at Hartwood Acres. Experience the thrill of professional polo. Stroll through a vintage car show. Enjoy food trucks, live music, kids' activities, tailgating, and more. Bring your friends, your coworkers, clients, or the whole family. Kids 12 and under get in free. It's a day of fun to help provide safe, affordable lodging for patients and families. Learn more at familyhouse.org/polo. See you on the field.
Insurance companies often have a basic strategy: delay, deny, defend. Some try to grind you down, but they have another tremendous weapon, a software called Colossus. They know which attorneys are great and which are not so great. They know who is likely to take the last offer and who will take them by their scalp, kicking and screaming to trial. They know that they have to pay some firms early and fairly. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The insurance companies have done their homework. Before you hire a lawyer for your injury case, do yours. Visit forthepeople.com and see our settlements and verdicts for cases like yours. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. When you hire the wrong firm, you may be beat before you start. All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwyck Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Man, so there's video out there floating that may or not be the shooter, and I had Ron Layton look at it, and he said it's hard to say that you can't put this stuff together this quickly. If it was AI, I'm not so sure, but he also said this, and it makes sense. If you watch some of this, you couldn't have done a horror movie this frightening, and Patrick's been looking at it, so have I. And he also makes this point that there's no way other people in the circle didn't know something was very wrong. He didn't wake up with these pathologies. It happens over time, and there are clues. And then he wrote a bunch of things on the weapons, these things that happen, this violence, this darkness. So there are clues. And I'm so saddened by this. And I read this note, Lance O'Brien joining me, and the guy sends me this note because of this culture we're talking about. I was at the gun shop yesterday. An 80-year-old woman, Marty, buying her first firearm and taking lessons. How about that? So this is where we're at now, right? This culture of fear. Is it not, sir?
Yeah, and I think the unexpected, like you saw today, is what really, it's the randomness, the unexpectedness of it, and it's the over-the-top. Again, I think it's, you know, where we used to have measured responses, if you will, all of that seems like it's just gone out the window.
That's a great
and
point.
You know, people feel the need that they have to take out all stops to protect themselves.
And then everybody says you got to talk to your kids, and I talk to my kids, but how many times you feel like you relate to your kids and they do something you had no idea where it came from? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I've got 3 kids that have come through the teenage years, and, you know, they've done things that I'm like, how did that ever happen?
Exactly. To my kid, I had no
certainly
idea.
didn't train them to do that.
No.
Right.
The first time I got brought home in handcuffs, honestly, my mother and dad look like their heart fell on the floor because my son's a criminal now.
Yeah.
And my point is there's that, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, I mentioned this earlier. I interviewed Eric Diebold's mother. He was the Columbine shooter. And he wrote her this long, long letter, and she wrote this beautiful book. The night before he killed everyone at Columbine, which kind of started this cavalcade, right, of mass shootings, his father sat in his room and talked about how proud he was of his grades and that they picked out his dorm room for school, the college, which he's headed to the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and to me, that's the thing is how could – it can't be that hidden.
No.
Right, to the point of the comment you just read. Like, there are signs. It's just, are we moving too fast in society or become so callous that we're not actually looking for the signs?
I can't tell you. I'm still trying to decipher that. Jackie, go ahead. Thanks for your patience.
Thank you. I wanted to bring to your attention something that is in the big, beautiful bill that most people are not aware of. It contains a provision repealing the $200 tax required on silencers, short-barreled rifles, and shotguns that are currently regulated by the National Firearms Act. This makes it easier for people to obtain these dangerous and once highly regulated items.
Yeah.
In May,
but it had nothing to do with today's shooting and nothing to do with the 1,011 mass shootings so far in the last 2 years. And so I get where you're coming from, but I also say it's way deeper than that, my dear. Don't you? Don't you?
Well, yeah, but my point is simply that I think it will get worse if we're not paying closer attention because these weapons, particularly things like silencers, are going to make things even worse.
Let me say this, and I love your call and I love your passion, but here's what happens when there's a mass shooting like this. Half the folks call and say, take away all the guns. Half the folks call and say, give them all the guns. And I'm not trying to contradict you, and I love the fact that you care and paid attention to that bill. However, find me a mass shooting where a silencer was used. And so we always want a way out, pass a bill, ban something, but it's deeper than that, isn't it, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we think...
And I love you, Jack. I'm not picking on you. Go ahead.
I think if we think we're going to... And I want to be careful how I say this.
Of course.
Should we always be looking at legislation as a way to address things? Sure.
No.
Well... No. I think we can look at it, but if we think we're going to legislate ourselves out of this issue, we're not legislating ourselves out of here because it's something inside of where we are going as a people, right? You know, that legislation is not going to fix. It's actually going back more to nuclear family, how we're raising people, how we're disciplining and guiding and assisting people. So, yeah, we can look at legislation as a piece of it, but we're not going to legislate our way out of the direction we're going.
So when you had a congregation and you had armed people in the congregation, did it make you feel better? Did it make the folks in the congregation feel safer?
Well, yes, obviously, right? Because they knew that there were people there that day focused on that. And every church that I've attended since then, not that it's been a lot, we moved a few years ago, whatever. They've all had and they call it a safety team, right? And that's the goal, is to create safety in the organization. And it did make us all feel safe, right? But I think we all do kind of get caught up, even though we're seeing it more rampant, we are getting a little bit caught up into it could never happen to me.
Completely agree.
And that's starting to seem less and less true, though.
However, what I can't take are the guys that I know, that I love. Hey, man, when I go in a restaurant, I'm packing, and I always face the door. My man, I ain't going to dinner, ordering a pizza, getting ready to shoot someone coming through the front door. It's never going to be that way for me. It can't, sir.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge for me is, like, I'm not a big gun guy myself, if I'm just being honest. Like, I personally don't own one. It's just, and I think about it sometimes, quite frankly.
Sure.
Like,
Why
should
not?
I be? Right? Like, should I go out and get training and all of that? I just have my son live with me the rest of my life because he's really big into that, right? Concealed carry, all that type of stuff. But, we can buy guns, we can change legislation, we can do all of those things. But if we don't take a deeper look into how we're actually building families, I don't think we're going to get the answers we're looking for.
Bam. What a way to end it. Be careful out there, folks.
It's the little things. The information you